Oh my goodness. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. All right, welcome in, ladies. Welcome in. So we were able to get together this all-star panel today to discuss this very serious issue. We have Cynthia G and Nyla's vibes in the house. And so we're going to be breaking down this entire boondoggle. So go grab your popcorn, your snackaroos, or whatever it is that you need to do. Go use the bathroom, get your water, because we have 9 minutes on the clock. Hey, Cyn G is in the house. Thank you all so much. If you were in the house for last night's live, hey, Nyla's Vibes is in the house. If you were in the house for last night's video, go ahead and throw up a number 3. I want to see who was here for the boondogglery that happened towards the latter part. Everybody was on their best behavior, and I don't know what happened towards the ending part of last night's broadcast, but have no fear. Have no fear. I am going to cut out those parts and publish them, all 3 of those phone calls, the 2 apologists, the man, and the other guy. So we're going to get all of that up today. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. I'm excited about today's broadcast. I wanted to broadcast on this a few days ago, but I really wanted to discuss this with Nylah and Cynthia because I feel like their perspectives are needed and important on this topic. So listen, show your love, share, tag somebody so that they can also participate in this discussion live. Text Notification Squad, thank you all so much for your love and support. Thank you. I would press the clap and applause, but we haven't started the broadcast yet, so those buttons aren't up. But thank you all so much. I'll clap personally. Thank you. confident. What were you doing in those bars in Times Square in the early 2000s, boy? You ain't old enough to have been out there. You was trying to R. Kelly some people? Or be R. Kelly'd by someone? Because we know you's a youngin'. So what was you doing down there, boy? Please tell some extra jokes during the broadcast to make Tam Tam laugh, because she's not supposed to be on here at work and she's up for a promotion. And this is, oh wait, the thing is about to start. Okay, here we go. All right, welcome in everybody. Welcome. We have an amazing broadcast for you all today. We're going to be talking about Rick Ross, but before we do that, let's jump and get live on these other platforms. So we are live on LinkedIn, live on Facebook, and live on Twitter. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I am your host, Tanya TKO, and I am a self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourselves and one another. On this channel, we use viral video topics as teachable moments for what self-love or self-abuse looks like in your life. And today, I saw something stunning on the internet. It was so stunning that, look, I'll put it up for you all. I'll put it up. All right. Rick Ross agrees to pay Brianna Singleton $11,000 monthly in child support for their 3 children. All right. Now, if we just take that at face value, I'm like, okay, well, but I was stunned when I heard what I heard from people who were in opposition. So we had to gather a star-studded cast here today. Give a round of applause, a warm welcome for Nylah and Cynthia G. So both of, please come forward, introduce yourselves to the people.
Hi, I am Nylah, also known as Nylah Says or Nylah's Vibes. I am your favorite social, entertainment, and political commentator. On my Nylah's Vibes channel, we talk a lot about social issues, family relationships, men, a lot of talk about men, exactly. And so I'm here to chop it up with Cynthia and Tanya as well. And I'm looking forward to this broadcast as we deconstruct this dust.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And Cynthia, please come forward and introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Cynthia G. No, I'm not off my break, so don't ask. Don't get too excited. But on my channel, we talk about psychology. We talk about now the psychology of Black men and the psychology of Black women, as well as navigating through society, understanding the psychology of the people that you're dealing with. A lot of people don't understand it, but everything that we do has to do with psychology. So we need to discuss the pathology of things, even the pathology of this situation here. So if you guys are interested in learning about the mindset why it is that the men in our community and women in our community respond to certain things or engage in certain behaviors, then you can come to my channel and learn something. Struggle bandits are welcome too.
All right. Well, thank you both so very much. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the breakdown. We're going to break down the audio that I came across and the videos that I came across of people criticizing the situation. I couldn't believe it, right? So listen, let's get that up on the screens right now. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. So if you all are ready, I'm ready.
Oh, I'm definitely ready. I got quite a bit to say about this.
Ross has been set to give his child's mother, Brianna, $11,000 a month in child support payments for the 3 kids they have together. Now, if they have any costs for the kids that exceed over $7,500 in extracurricular activities, Rick Ross will have to pay for that additional to the $11,000. Now, personally, I feel like the $11,000 for 3 children, depending on her mortgage and where she's living, may not be enough money. I feel as though he could have gave her more money because having 3 kids living in a certain area, giving them to a private school, all those costs add up. Nobody else agrees with me.
Oh, wait, but you left out how she only makes $142 a month.
Rick Ross makes $585,000 a month, and she is bringing in $142 a month. The backstory is this: Rick Ross has been set to give his child's mother, Brianna, $11,000 a month.
All right. So you hear that. He makes $585,000 a month. She's claiming that she only makes $142,000 a month. Before we jump into the commentary from the people who are angry, what are your thoughts on this so far?
I think, there's a flaw in Black men, and it's a flaw that we're literally only seeing advertised in Black men, and it's regarding having to financially support children that they have with Black women. And I'm going to say Black women specifically because we've seen a lot of recent reports coming out, and I noticed that Black men aren't as up in arms about it. And I think it's very clearly showing that when it comes to the finances that Black men have, there's an unwillingness to provide it to Black women because they just don't see value in you. I don't know have you seen Tanya and Nylah, what Brittany Renner is getting paid out, the biracial woman who had the white mother, how much she's getting paid out? And the biggest issue that Black men had with that situation is that she left him. They didn't have a problem with the child support amount. And I was tracking the amount of tears that they were crying over Brittany Renner. What they had an issue with was the fact that she immediately divorced this man and then went on a media tour saying that she's unapologetic about what she did, that she wasn't genuinely in a relationship with him. Because the reality is, nobody really values Black men except Black women. All other groups of women see them as a lick, as an easy come up, because these women understand who Black men are for the most part. They already see the community. They see the out of wedlock rape. They see the single mothers all over the place. And they understand that these are not men to be valued. So what they do is they get in, they secure the bag, and they get out, and they're unapologetic about it. But for Black men, they will be more accepting of a non-Black woman getting a lot of money out of a Black man than a Black woman. They do not want Black women to have anything. This is this man's children. He laid down with her. He created these children. He should want to afford them the best life that he possibly can. And I feel like that if he had these children with a non-Black woman, he would have offered more.
All right. Nylah?
So I absolutely, believe that she should probably actually get more. And I will have to agree with Cynthia about, they simply don't think that they should have to take care of their responsibilities. when you think of the responsibilities of a custodial child, and a custodial parent, a lot of Black men, when they're talking about this, they speak as if the money that they're giving to their children are specifically for the woman to put into her purse and go to the shopping malls. But it's an error in their thinking. And as well as the fact that we're usually, if we're going to be talking about high profile child support, we're talking about high earning, popular, in the public eye. And we look at Rick Ross and how he made his money. Look at his beefs, look at what he talks about, look at what he stands for. So there's a security risk at giving a woman like this with his children, who everybody knows whose children they are. There's a security risk with giving this woman $500 a month to take care of these children, as well as the fact that children are supposed to benefit from the labor of their fathers. Okay, that's just a part of it. Also, custodial parents have to do things that non-custodial parents don't have to do, like get up in the middle of the night and clean up vomit, like, check temperatures, do laundry. There are things that she's going to be doing that don't even quantify monetarily that he's not paying for. On top of the fact, like, what would be the portion that he would be contributing into these children's lives if they were all under one roof? It would be much more than that $11,000 a month. So to me, he's getting off really, really easy. Mm-hmm. But Black men live vicariously through the lives of high earners and entertainers. And the fact that most of them are not responsible and have not been responsible and do not have intimate knowledge on what it takes to raise a family, let alone a child. Most of them have no business speaking because most of them are absent parents.
Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So the part that's going to be stunning is going to be the commentary that comes up next. Are you ladies braced for that?
I guess.
I mean, okay. we're not new to dusty pathologies and dusty talking points, so this will probably be more trash bag logic.
But these are okay. I'll let you see who's doing it. I'll let you see. Here we go.
If you ask me,
it's not way off. It's somebody's reality. It might not
Kendra,
be
this is gold digger language.
That person for being
this is gold digger language
because you can't judge her.
Yes, you can judge her because yes, you can because bitch, if she getting $11,000 a month, that shit is gonna add up. She is not spending $11,000 in a 1 month. That shit is rolling over. Kendra, that's gold digging to me. If you ask me,
it's not way off. It's somebody's reality. It might not.
All right, ladies. Well, come on. Let me get a good
Kendra, this is gold digging language.
Hold on. Let me get a good screenshot of her on the screen. There we go. All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I can't hold it.
If you wasn't, I would have did it. So go ahead.
Yeah. So okay, this is mammy language, right? And this is simply because she's been deprived herself, and she thinks that's normal. She thinks it's normal for women to have to, go without, and for children to have to be taken care of on the bare minimum. She's taking care of herself on the bare minimum. This woman is sitting up here with filtered lashes on. She can't even afford her own lash extensions. And she's sitting up here talking about a damn gold digger. Okay. So you cannot filter clothes and provisions onto a child. And this is a woman that is literally this is a pick me calling card. This is a mammy calling card. You think that she's talking about the subject. Really, this is her dating profile. This is her telling Dusties, I won't cost you much. And if you get me pregnant, you don't have to pay me. That's all that is.
Yeah, this is that tragic, long suffering. I'm not going to make the Black man do anything because woe is the Black man mentality. And look, again, this is about self-esteem of Black women. And I've been talking about Black women having low self-esteem for a couple years now, and they have low self-esteem. And it's not even low self-esteem. It's no self-esteem, no self-value. Again, this is why Black women continue to lose. We lose in marriage. We lose in dating, we lose in child rearing. We lose all across the board. And the reason we lose is because in the Black male worshiping culture that is literally reinforced by Black women, children do not even matter. Black men matter. And these are the same Black men who provide absolutely nothing to Black women. If white men today decided to take away all of the resources and say all of these resources are only going to white people, Black women would starve and die. You would perish because Black men cannot provide anything to you. Yet these are the very men that we worship. Yet these are the women who in one breath will sit up and talk about the struggles of being a single mother and being impoverished and not having generational wealth. And then they'll turn around and sit in cars just like this woman talking about how a man who makes $500,000 a month, you divide that by 12 and you come up with the amount that this man makes in a year. 11,000 is chump change to him. Yet he doesn't even want to provide for the children. And you have women sitting here co-signing it, talking about that's gold digger. A gold digger is typically someone who's going after something that she's not entitled to. This woman is entitled to money from him because he laid up with her, impregnated her 3 times. And now he doesn't want to pay for the children. And somebody in the chat box was saying, oh, well, if she was married, she would get alimony. I think you really need to look at the fact that Black women are losing in marriage. Black women don't walk away with money in marriages. And see, if Black women weren't looking at marriage the same way that Black men look at having a white woman, I'll say it again, marriage to Black women is what dating a white woman is to Black men. Neither of them benefit from it. Black women don't benefit from marriage to Black men. Black men don't benefit from dating white women, but both of them seem to think it's a badge of honor for some reason. You keep losing because of this mentality. You cannot have a loser mentality and then win. These other races of women, they're winning not just because they're not Black, but because they already see Black men for who they are. It just is what it is. They get in, they get the bag, they get out. It's that simple. You would never see other races of women sitting in cars saying what this Black woman is saying, ever.
Never.
Yeah, I thought Nylah really gave the gut punch when she talked about this woman's eyelashes. I'm going to zoom in for you all on this, just so that you can see what Nylah was talking about, just in case you couldn't. I'm going to zoom it for you so that you can see. So she is wearing, or she's not even wearing, she has a filter on that has placed fake eyelashes.
Because you can't judge her. Yes, you can judge her because
look, it's fake.
Yes, you can because bitch, if she getting 11,000 a month, that shit is gonna add up. She is not spending. She is.
Do you see? This is embarrassing.
It is.
Like, listen, it's embarrassing. I don't know if you can see that they're not connected. You see, it's a whole different color. They're not connected to her face. It's a filter that has added it on the outside. Look, you see it, right? You see it moving, right? Like not moving with her. Let me just take the opportunity to say right now, this video is sponsored by the Total Knockout Vegan Makeup Collection, where you can get real eyelashes in the pack so that you don't have to be up here on the internet like this, because basically she's low budget. She herself doesn't invest that much into herself. You see, she got a tattoo on her neck. Or her chest, all across it, right? It's just, this is sad, honestly. And she's talking about this is gold digger language.
And see, that's because, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tanya. I'm sorry. She just annoyed.
Go ahead, because I'm going to make my point.
Well, I'm just, see, this is the kind of woman that really infuriates me, because her problem is she would not qualify to be in that position, even though Rick Ross, I believe, is just a high earning Dusty. He would not put her in that position to get anything from him. And when you see women, that is how those women compete. He would probably take her on a date to the Wingstop that he gave his son, if anything. And so she knows that, and she's mad about it. These are women that have an issue with other women progressing, and I hate these kind of women.
well, hate is a strong word, but yeah, no, I'm going to pull up, Brianna Singleton. I'm going to pull up her Instagram page so that we can see. So since you mentioned that, let's see, Brianna Single, oh, I'm trying to find her page, Brianna Singleton. I had it up the other day, but I had it up the other day, but restarting the computer over and over and all this other stuff, I ended up losing the I need the link to her direct page. I'm gonna give my commentary. Can one of you get me the link to her direct page, because I'm trying to get it off of IG, but they're not. I just ugh. I need her thing. Let me just give my commentary on the woman. This is the woman that Rick Ross chose. She's a preference. This is the woman that he decided that he wanted to lay down with. And he decided to have intercourse and over again impregnate this woman because that's who he chose. He had 3 children with her. 3, right? $11,000 a month. Is he complaining? This is the question that I want us to answer. Is he complaining? But before he even gets a chance to express how he feels about it, because I'm sure making $500,000 a month, $11,000 is nothing to him, right? This is the amount he agreed to pay, right? But here come these women with their capes, flapping in the wind. Oh, this is too much. This is gold digger. Because like Nylah said, this is, or was it Cynthia who said, this is her dating profile. This is her calling card to let people know, look, I don't require much. I'm cheap. Look, I got my Instagram filter lashes on. I got my chest tattoo. I'm speaking in AAVE, face all up in the camera. And I'm sure, how much do you want to bet that there is a child seat somewhere in the background? How much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet? So it's like, here she is, because she's like, I'm not getting that. So why should you get that? My children are low budget. Listen, a child should be afforded a lifestyle akin to what their parents can provide. If your father is making $500,000 a month, Nylah brought up a good point about how his kids can't go to regular school. His children are going to need security. Where is she going to live? She's going to have to live in a gated community. She has 3 children. Remember, that is 3 out of 4 people in the household. So when it comes to the rent of the household, she takes up 1/4 of the space in the household. His children takes up 3/4 of it. I'm confused, and I don't understand why people have a problem with him paying. And how much does it cost? How much does childcare cost for a regular child? We're talking $400 a week. She has 3 children. I believe the ages are 4, 3, and a child that was born in August of last year. So she's rolling with a newborn. Mm-hmm.
Basic daycare is just under $300 a week. Basic daycare, just under $300 a week. And so I don't know if they give multi-kid discounts or something like car insurance does, if you bundle and save. I don't know if they do that, but I know that would be like $900 a week just for kids to be in daycare. $900 a week. You got 4 weeks in a month.
Exactly.
You already heading there towards 4,000 just for daycare if you were to put kids. Now you got 11, so now 4 of it is nearly depleted. What other needs do they have?
Food, security.
Yeah, Branson.
Shelter.
Yeah, so
shelter.
That 11K might look like a lot, but no, it ain't for 3 kids. But see, Black women don't mind suffering for Black men who can't provide anything to them. I want to emphasize that. These men cannot provide anything to Black women. They cannot provide housing, shelter, healthcare, food, anything. All of Black women's necessities are not coming from Black men, because Black men are getting his necessities from white men. Black men can't even provide for themselves. If it weren't for white men giving them opportunities to make money, they wouldn't even have any money. So essentially, Black women are worshiping men who literally can do zero for them. They're a liability at this point. The men can't do anything for you, but you're willing to sit up and suffer on his behalf just so that he doesn't have to pay for children that he created? I need somebody to make it make sense.
Well, you know what? The thing is that there are people, so like you said, marriage is a prize in the Black community where Black men are worshipped, and marriage comes by so infrequently. If only 21% of Black men are married, and there are 2 million more Black women than there are Black men, according to census.gov. There are Black women who are starving for a Black man. And so therefore they have to figure out a way to make themselves more appealing, more appeasing. And so instead of wanting to be a maid, they are attempting to figure out any type of way that they can flatten and roll themselves out enough to be a mat. Because they're like, look, I'm a welcome mat. I'm laying down. You don't have to do anything. My legs are already in the air. You can impregnate me and pump me full of your gangly children, and you don't even have to pay for them. Just please, Black man, accept me. Take me.
And that's exactly why they shouldn't care about marriage. Like nobody, and Sin has been saying this for the longest. I didn't understand it when she first would say this, but I completely get it now. If they are the ones that hold the keys to marriage, and they built the notion that it puts you at the height of the food chain or in a better hierarchy socially as a woman to be married, yet they don't marry you, you should not have any value to that entity at all. Yeah. Marriage is only a badge of honor on a personal level between that husband and that wife. It is not some sort of way to climb socially in the Black community, because it doesn't guarantee you, guarantee you anything. It doesn't guarantee that you won't be a single mother at some point. It doesn't guarantee you that you won't be in poverty. It doesn't guarantee you anything. It doesn't guarantee you anything. And it's something that they control. And it's only valuable because you allow them to make it valuable. When you stop caring as Black women about their social hierarchy and care more about yourself and your mental health and your aftercare and everything that goes on in your world and your children's world, that's when it will become valuable. Yeah. Only then. You have to make it valuable for yourself. No, don't do it. Don't let them.
Let me ask you this. Is it working? Is Black women flattening themselves out to the flattest mat that they can be instead of a mate? Is it working? Is it working?
It did not work. It didn't work in the 40s, and it's not working in the millennium either. It's not. And it's mental illness for women to think that it does. It's not working.
Having intercourse on the second date, is that working? As a rule, having intercourse on the second date, is it working for Black women?
I don't even think how soon a Black woman has sex with a Black man matters. I think it matters zero, because first of all, you have other races of women that he has access to sexually. So Black women could literally super glue her legs closed and for 90 days to 6 months, and it's not going to make one difference, because what that man is going to be doing in the meantime, while Black women's legs are glued closed, collecting dust, he's going to be out having sex with somebody. I think the mindset is the problem. The lack of standards is the problem. Because I'll tell you, I've had sex with whatever Black man I wanted to, as quickly as I've wanted to, and I ain't never been left at all. The problem with Black women is that Black women overvalue Black men. That is the problem. Because you see that a Black man will literally, and Rick Ross will probably do this too. He made this woman a baby mama, and he's probably going to go find him a preference that, guess what? He'll have no problem shelling out money to, because guess why? She got the expectation that he's going to give her some money. She got the expectation. Show me one broke black man that Kim Kardashian was with.
Yeah.
None. Kim Kardashian ain't never even looked at a broke black man, and she probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
She's over here bankrolling. She's worth 1.2 billion because of black men.
Yeah.
That's what her net worth is. Do you think that Brittany Renner would ever be with a broke black man? As she's running around knowing she's a preference because she fell from the womb of a white woman, as she gets on Instagram nearly every week and talk about how unapologetic she is, how she's not sorry about the fact that she just finessed $200K a month in child support for one child. She got one child by this man. And there's an agreement to pay her $200K per month. Do you think Michael Strahan's ex-wife, do you think she's unapologetic about the fact that she just walked away with $15.3 million of his money, and he has to pay child support, and he has to pay her nearly an additional $1 million in back child support? No, she don't care nothing about that. These women do not care. And you have black women who are so hard up for muling for black men. Not only are they okay accepting nothing, they'll be mad at another race of woman because she wouldn't finesse that black man out of his money, which is something that you couldn't do. When Jeannie Mai walks away with most of Jeezy's wealth and child support, do you think she's going to care? No, because she's looking out for herself. She don't care nothing about that. She sees a sucker and she's about to lick him.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you so much for that. Exactly. But my reason for bringing that up, whether or not it's working, is whether or not it's working for black women. My point in bringing it up is we get all of these suggestions from black men about how to make relationships work. You know, be available, be nice, be submissive, open your legs after knowing him for 2 hours. Well, 1 hour on the first date, an hour on the second date, bust your legs wide open. Don't require child support. Don't take him to court. Don't call the police on him. All of these suggestions, but is it working? Are you happy? Are you safe? Are the neighborhoods better? Or do they take you and trample on you and then on to the next? And get with who it is that they really want to get with. I found her Instagram page. I want to show you all her page. I want to show you all. All right. So this is his baby mama, right? This is how she looks, right? Do you think Rick Ross would have gotten with her if she was? Would he value? Well, I guess he still doesn't even value her. But would he have let her into? Would he have let her into his realm, into his mansion, into his Maybach, if she had the lowest of standards, if she didn't care enough about herself to even get, make sure her weave is popping and she got the look like doctor made curves under there. But she got him, she attracted him, she snagged him because she has some sort of standard. So why do black women think that if you lower your standards all the way down to the ground, that is going to get you what it is that you want? What are these women actually getting? What are they snagging?
Nothing. They're not snagging anything. And this is what I don't get with black women, because I know that black men don't recognize patterns. They can't put two and two together. They can't see that, the outcome of certain behaviors. Black women are significantly smarter than black men, and yet black women aren't paying attention to the patterns. You can just look to what other women are doing who are not black, seeing how they're winning, and adopt their method. Why aren't black women doing that? Knowing that you deal with a group of men who don't believe in marriage, they don't believe in providing, they don't believe in protecting, they don't even think that you're worth anything. So why wouldn't you be dealing with him specifically just to come up? Why wouldn't you?
You know what? The feeling of desperation. The feeling of desperation. You know how it is when you are, I don't know if you've ever held something very heavy in your hands and it started to slip, and you didn't know how to stop it from slipping. So because black men are so slippery, because black women want that protection, it's like you can't put a cape over a person into protecting you. It's like either he's a protector or he's not. It's like, but Black women think, you know, I'm going to build up this king. I'm going to buy him the throne. I'm going to give him the scepter. And then one day he's going to rise up into leadership. It's like either he is or he isn't. Listen, there's more that we need to listen to. There's more we need to listen to. So let's continue forward into the next video, because the next video is the one that I think we really need to hone in on, because listen, here we go. Look.
I just had to come up on here because Kendra, she is tripping right now. Kendra G, hold on, let me see if I can tag her, cause baby, we gotta talk about this. We ain't even finna go out like this, Kendra, for real. I've just listened to Love 'Em or Leave 'Em. You sitting up here telling me that $11,000 is not enough to take care of 3 kids. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're saying. I don't care who the baby daddy is. I don't care how rich and famous this baby daddy is. $11,000 is way more than enough to take care of them 3 kids. It is not rigged for. See, this what she thought she was gonna do.
Listen.
She thought that she was gonna mess around with Ross, have him. I just had to come up on here.
All right. Okay. Listen, ladies, first things first. What is the most prominent thing that sticks out to you about this video? Cynthia?
Aside from the fact that she got kids in the back of the car with her while she recording, and that's what I'm saying. See, look, this woman is probably struggling to provide for them kids on her own. The fact that she can't even find time to record a video on her own without her kids being present tells you that that is a single mother. She's struggling on her own, and therefore that's why she thinks because she's struggling and still able to raise them in poverty because they're fed all the time. Who cares if you feed them low-grade food from food to other grocery stores? Who cares about that? They still alive. So in the tragic Black male worshiping mind, if she can struggle with her kids and she raising them without 11,000, then that 11,000 should be enough.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you picked up on that. Nylah?
Yeah, she's got those children in the back seat that, you know, she's taking care of by herself. And see, again, these are dating profiles that these women are showing, okay? Because this struggle mammy is doing what they all do, which is they love to check other women for not remaining in that struggle with them. They cannot stand to see women that do not have to endure the things that they endure. And so they like Tyrone built her to check the other women. And, you know, when she's sitting up here, $11,000, that's enough. And you tripping. First of all, Kendra G is not taking her kids to Burlington Coat Factory to get their clothes, nor should she have to, because of the wealth of their father. Kendra G, and then she keeps saying it. And, pardon me?
Brianna Singleton or Kendra G, because Kendra G is the vlogger who they were talking about.
I'm sorry. That was my mistake. But she's not taking her children to Burlington Coat Factory. You know what I'm saying? She's living the lifestyle that he gave to her and those children. And the children's lifestyles are not supposed to suffer just because the relationship ends. You already have to mitigate some because they're no longer going to be in the same household. So I just don't understand. Does she expect the children's lifestyle to change because of the father and the mother not being able to be together anymore? I don't understand that logic. And see, when you sit around stuffing your face with donuts and bacon all day, you don't know any better. Even the fact that when she says, and any baby daddy and all this kind of stuff, well, maybe that is the difference. Maybe there are baby daddies and there are fathers, okay? Fathers do understand these types of things. Fathers have to do what fathers have to do. Maybe baby daddies will try to get you off with the minimum. But even saying that, he's getting away with the minimum. What is $11,000 a month against 500? Like, seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
She should not even be speaking.
Let me ask you all this question. I just put up Brianna's page. This is Brianna. This is Brianna Singleton. This is his baby mama, right? This is her, right? And this is the woman that says that she shouldn't get that. Do you think he would choose a woman like her to parade around? Do you think so?
No. He would choose her to clean his bathrooms and to take out the garbage. I mean, seriously, and here's the thing. This is an attractive woman. She's not unattractive. She's actually an attractive woman. But it's obvious that these types of men have a type, and they are the type of women that are going to spend the money that Brianna is spending to look nice. She's getting the micro needling. She's getting the beauty treatment. She's getting all those things. So like, this is a woman that doesn't know about self-care. She can't afford it. So she can't perceive that this woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, she would be his janitor.
Okay. All right. There's more, because she goes on. Sin, did you want to add something else on the tail end of this?
Not really much, but I agree with Nylah. You know, even if we think she's attractive, Rick Ross wouldn't think she's attractive at all. Like, I don't even think he would look at her long enough. I don't even think he would value this woman enough to let her clean the toilets. He would hire a Mexican woman for that.
You know what? I'm actually, after we do this broadcast, I'm going to come back out and I'm going to show you all a video from Rick Ross where there was this preference who was singing on his show, and a dark-skinned young lady who came up and used the same beat right after her. I want to show you how Rick Ross treated the preference versus the dark-skinned black woman. So when black women are coming out throwing on the cape for him, I really don't understand. I don't understand. So let's jump into the next video. Here we go.
She was just gonna live.
Hold on.
I just had to come up on here because of his baby, and she was just gonna live this glamorous life. No, it don't work like that, baby. It does not work like that. You decided to this is why men nowadays.
I'm sorry, I have to stop this. I have to stop it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because it don't work like that for black women, but it works like that. It works just like that for non-black women. You get with Brittany Renner literally said, get with an athlete, they're stupid. Translation, get with a black man, they're dumb. They're dumb.
You know what bothers me the most about this? Listen to the baby in the background. The baby sounds under the weather. The baby sounds congested and muted, and it's whining. He or she is whining. Mama, mama. While she's up here with her little swoop on the hair, shoulders much larger than the screen of the phone. So we don't know exactly how big this woman is, right? But we know that she is not Rick Ross's preference. However, she's still sitting up there with the cape. And I want you to hear what else it is that she's going to say, because it gets much worse. Because I listened to this first and foremost. I listened beforehand. So let's take it. Let's take it. I'm gonna refresh this just so you can hear it again. Let me get the volume.
I just had to have his baby, and she was just gonna live this glamorous life. No, it don't work like that, baby. It does not work like that. You decided to this is why men nowadays leave females. Yeah, he bring in the money. He got it to give. But the thing about child support is to give support to the child. Not support her bills, not support none of that. His support is for his kids. $3,000+ a piece for all three of them kids. There you go. Now, what you want to do with your mortgage and how you want to live your life, that's on you. You figure that out. How the hell could you call yourself a woman and you bring it home $100 and what was it, $147 a month? Girl, what is you doing? What is you doing? I'm with old girl. What is you doing? Because you can't be doing nothing. Have his baby and she.
Oh my God, ladies, please jump in here.
Okay. The thing that stood out the most to me is that she said, how can you call yourself a woman? So in her mind, a woman is not supposed to look for a man for support. Although in literally every single species, the man supports the woman. He literally supports women. That is what he's supposed to do as a man. But since our culture is where women act like the men because we have expendable, valueless men who can't provide anything, then she thinks that this woman is going outside of the norm when in reality, this woman is having an expectation of a man that's consistent with him being a man.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. What stood out to you, Nylah, about this second clip?
Well, I mean, I'm picking off of the same thing that Cynthia is. The mere fact that she thinks that women are supposed to be judged by their income, especially when, when they have a mate, when they have a partner. This is a very masculine understanding that women have that they're accepting from men, because we're the only community where, how could you say that? How could you say that? That what kind of woman are you? A kept one.
Oh!
A kept woman.
This is what I'm talking about. So, look, there's more. There's more. There's more. There's more. There's more. Yeah.
I don't care how much he make. As a woman, you're supposed to make sure you're able to provide for you.
I cannot. I'm sorry, this child whining in the background is really concerning me because the child is not able to get her attention. Does the child sound helpful to you? Does the child sound like they're thriving? Does it? Does that sound like the cry of a or the talk of a thriving child?
No, that's the talk of a child that is surviving off of GMO milk and GMO snacks and an untidy environment that is not balanced because their mom is acting like a man.
Not the GMO snack. Come on, Nylah.
She's basically saying, as a Black woman, you're supposed to struggle on your own without that man. In no circumstance should you go after him for money. And it's like Black women really need to think about what it is that they want. Like, what do you want versus what you're promoting? Look at the fact that no other group of women are promoting this. So that means you're the abnormality. Black women have the abnormal mindset. Now, the question is, do you think Black women are saying these things because they really don't want to live a luxury life? Do you think that they're saying these things because they really don't want to have a man provide for them? Or do you think that they're saying them because Black men are expendable and don't have anything and can't provide anything?
Ah, that's a good point. Thank you. That's a good point. What woman wouldn't want to rest in her femininity? What woman wouldn't want that? The thing that's just so stunning to me about this is that she finds it so important to be up here, lip gloss a popping, trying to be on the internet, scolding a woman for receiving minimal support for 3 children by a man that makes $585,000 a month. Let's continue. I'm sorry. This is just so aggravating. I'm going to refresh it so you can hear it from the beginning again.
Rick Ross has
I just have his baby. Nothing. As a woman, you supposed to get, I don't care how much he make. As a woman, you supposed to make sure you able to provide for you and your kids. I have 3 kids of my own, and I know y'all hear the little baby in the background. I'm on my way taking her to school. Give me $11,000 a month. I'ma flip it. Baby, I'm going to be making $33,000 a month from off that 11. And it's going to provide for me and my kids. See, she want him to give her some money. She want him to pay her bills, do for her. And then what Cal said? He gave his 16-year-old a franchise. Baby, that 16-year-old making bank. And they needed it to where the mama can't touch the mama. The mama can't touch the money. Because please believe she gonna be dibbling down up in them cause she money hungry. If she tripping off $11,000 a month, she money hungry. Hell no. I'm glad they ordered $11,000 a month. Girl, get your life. Get your nothing. As a woman, you supposed to get, I don't.
Oh God, ladies.
I have a question, Tanya. I have a question. Do you think that if Rick Ross was a white man and the baby's mom was the same, do you think that they would be saying he should give her more or less money? If Rick Ross was a white man,
If Rick Ross
they would
was
probably
white,
be thinking she should get more.
you know what? I don't even know. I don't even think they would think about it. I think they saw a woman who has some color to her. I don't know whether she's black or mixed. She looks ambiguous to me. I think they saw an ambiguous woman who had some brown to her and felt that they needed to come up with their cape in tow and put her in her place. Because you see what the woman said. I'm glad they only gave her $11,000, and she can't touch none of the money. It's because she doesn't want the woman to get she doesn't want the woman to get anything from the money. She doesn't want her to receive anything from the money.
No, she doesn't want her to receive anything from a black man. She doesn't want her. That's what she doesn't want. She doesn't want black women don't think that black men should be obligated to pay anything to them. I honestly believe that if the baby's mom was the same, the woman was the same, and it was a white man in question for child support, I think that they would see it how it really is, which is that he's getting off light and that she deserves more money. I do actually think that if the race of the man changed, her opinion would change, because black women are trying to protect black men from having to pay their obligations. Black women think that black men shouldn't have to pay child support, and that's because black women subconsciously and some of them consciously know that black men are broke, black men are dusty, black men are weak, black men are expendable, and black men have nothing to offer, and they're not going to go out there and compete with other male groups to get anything. And so therefore, I think if this man was white, the amount of child support he's paying wouldn't be an issue. In fact, this very same woman will be sitting up there saying he should give her more.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, because if it was Serena Williams and she divorced and she had 3 children and she divorced from a white man, would they be saying that he shouldn't give her, money for her to take care of the child? I don't remember anybody saying Janet Jackson. I don't remember seeing any black women saying Janet Jackson shouldn't have received the settlements that she got after she left after that prenatal, the premarital clause. Remember that?
No, they congratulated her and said she got the bag.
Yep.
So this is about protection of black men. That's what the cape is for. Very interesting. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. That's a good point. There's one more clip that we're going to play, but before that, what's that I hear? All right. There's some apples that came in. Olivia sends $5 and says, great content on maths with the Jose drama. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. And Bree sends $5 and says, Rick rather spend money on chicken and beard dye. Okay. All right. Listen, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he got beard dye, but thank you. Thank you. And then she comes back and says, tell the story of women having sex in dirty basement. I refuse to tell that story right now. It's too gross. But you know the story. You all know the story. Ugh, yuck. All right. The apples are open, and the link to give apples is in the description. Let's jump back to this last video segment of this woman. I'm stunned personally.
I'm on my way taking her to school. Give me $11,000.
She taking her child to school. That's the crazy part. She's gonna flip what?
$33,000 a month.
She's such a liar.
And it's gonna provide for me.
But you see what this is? This is jealousy of her. This is jealousy. Yeah. She doesn't have a problem with her getting $11,000 a month. She has a problem with this other woman getting $11,000 a month, and probably based solely on how the woman presents. Because if she's saying, and you can't sit there and say, oh, $11,000 is very well enough, you don't need it to raise no kids, but then say, oh, give me $11,000. She's a hating ass bitch, and she's mad because ain't nobody giving her $11,000 a month.
Yeah. I think she's a dusty beta male coon. Actually, she acts a lot like a man. I mean, to talk about flipping money in the way, like, you know, women investing and reaping a harvest, there's nothing wrong with it. But with every single speech pattern, every single thought, her motivation seems very male-like. And it's just like I'm sorry, like Cynthia said, she's a hating ass bitch. She really is.
Listen. You know we don't call women misogynistic slurs on this page. You know we don't.
Okay, I'm sorry that you don't call women misogynistic slurs, but I call out misogyny in women. And I'm telling you, Tanya, this woman she is the embodiment of all of those things. She's embodying that energy that if you call someone male identified, you're calling them a male, you're calling them a dusty beta male coon. I mean, that's like, that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
but I'll respect the
No. I hear you. I feel that women have just been so beleaguered that us adding on top of it by calling them the slurs that men have created for us, like BITZH and HOE and SLUT, I just don't promote that on my channel. I find other creative ways to be able to describe women. I feel that we just need a break from that particularly. I just don't participate in it. I don't support that. But no, I feel everything that we say. I'm sorry?
Yeah, with me, I can't be presented a hating ass bitch and then be told not to call her out as such. She's a hater. That it just is what it is. She's hating on this woman. Because if you think that a woman should not get 11K for kids because you think it's gold digging and excessive, and then turn around and say, oh, give me 11K. She's a hating ass bitch. It is what it is. And I know one when I'm looking at one.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this, right? And I would love for us to be able to please, you know, like I said, I don't promote that on my channel. And I don't want to bring that energy of calling women BITCHs on my channel. I don't want to do it. And I would love if, just for me, if we could just not do that. I would love that. And yes, she is a lot of things, but I would just love if we don't do that. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. There's one last clip of hers that I would love for us to take a look at.
She want him to pay. Get your life, get up and get a job. That's what you need. Or open your own. I have 3 kids, my own crib, my own car. I run my own business. I am.
All right. So you hear it. You hear it, right? You heard what she said, right?
And this is the hater that we can address accordingly. Although she's clearly a hater.
No, you can call her a hater. Yes, she is a hater. Is she a female dog? I personally don't call women female dogs on my channel. If it slips out, I correct myself, but not deliberately. I just don't like the energy of that. Is she a hater? Yes, she is. She is a hater. You see, she has 3 children. That's the thing. She has the same amount of children as Rick Ross's baby's mother. And one of the children, she has the child in the back seat, dropping the child off for school. The child is whining, crying, hollering out, sounding ill, and she's still taking the child to school. And she's standing up here with enough time to make a video against Kendra G, saying that the woman should get more money. And she's upset because she has 3 children that the father is not caring for. You can hear more. I can refresh it, but we could play it through and it'll start again.
I'm the owner of Chrissy's Boutique. And I take care of all 3 of my careers, plus myself in all my bills, by myself, off my business. I don't clock a 9 to 5. I got my own. I do my own thing. So tell her to get her life. And Kendra, you need to be ashamed of yourself. Just want to help her get more money from me. Baby, you gonna see. Because you don't got no kids right now. But you gonna see. You can do a lot with $11,000 a month, honey. And if she can't afford that glamorous life she trying to live,
yeah. So you see,
her whole thing is, I'm struggling with these 3 kids and you should be too.
Yeah. That's her thing. That's absolutely her thing. She has 3 children. She's doing it by herself. No one is helping her. She claims that she has some sort of boutique that helps her support her children. And listen, I feel like I need to say this. Because you all know that I'm a lifetime entrepreneur. You know that I'm a lifetime entrepreneur. You know that I've never had a full-time job. I've always created my own income. This woman is not successful. If she thinks that $11,000 in 1 month, like you're not successful, dear. I know you're going to see this video. And I'm telling you, dear, you need to do better with your mentality. You need to do better with your perspective. You have a poverty consciousness, because $11,000 a month, listen, that's not real money, dear. It's not. It's just not. Like, if you're small time and you selling your little crochets or something like that, maybe you think 12,000 is a lot. But when you start really moving up the numbers, like if you want to be a millionaire, you have to make $66,000 a month. Let alone talk about being a billionaire. How much money does a person need to make $1 billion in a year? Because we look up to these other women who are culture vulturing off of us. So 1,000,000, that's 1 million. 000 is 1 billion divided by 12. You have to make 83. You can't. It's too bright. You can't see it. You have to make $83 million, $83,333,333. You have to make $83 million a month in order to be a billionaire. If you want to be a millionaire, I'll take the numbers down for you and just confirm that. Divided by 12. Oh, a millionaire divided by 12, you have to make $83,000 a month. If you want to be a millionaire, you have to make $83,000 a month. $11,000 is not that's not real money. You're sitting up here acting like this is so much money and you're a business owner and all of this. Let me tell you, dear, stop this. You're poverty minded, and your business is not going to grow and really fully excel unless you alter what you think is a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. And it's embarrassing that she's sitting up here pretending as if this small amount of chump change is like, you have a business, $12,000, you're the lease on a space for production, $3,000, $5,000 a month, if not more. There are people who are paying $125,000 a month in rent in New York City. Come on. Ladies.
Yeah, I'm going to respect the channel because I only have misogyny, honey. This woman is, yeah. I mean, this woman has a serious issue with other women. She's definitely a hater. I would agree with you. This is a poverty mindset. She is, I mean, she's sitting up here talking about what she has to do on her own and how she can do it on her own and how she does it on her own. And she is upset with the women who don't have to do it on her own. So, I mean, she can just sit there and be a hard worker for the rest of her life. That's what I mean. And whatever, be the protector, be the provider. This is why, I mean, this is also why this woman is so heavy. Because she's stressed out. Listen. And I don't even mean that as a bad, I'm serious. This is the truth. I'm not trying to take any digs, and I'm not fat shaming. I'm definitely not doing that. Like, she is so stressed out and so having to bear everything on her shoulders. That's why they're that wide. And that's not a joke, and that's not a slight. When you see these women with this extra meat sitting up on their shoulders, where your shoulders are the same height as your ears, it is because no, I'm serious. It's because you are bearing all that by yourself. It's because she has to work. She's carrying on those loads, and she's upset. And I would say, I'm gonna tell you this. She's doing all that, taking care of all those 3 kids. You know why she's mad? Because Rick Ross has to give that woman that paltry $11,000 a month, because the men that she chose to have kids with are probably taking care of the women that made them take care of them. They're somewhere providing for some woman, and she's salty about it. That's her problem. But see, they don't have to provide because she wants to be a whole bricklayer and do all this other stuff. She wants to be a strong, independent Dusty, and they're allowing her to be. Yeah. No woman should be having children with a man that cannot take. I don't even think you shouldn't have sex with people that can't take care of you.
Yeah, you know
you
what?
shouldn't even have sex
the math on it. somebody said in the comments that was only 2,000 something a week. 11,000 a month. How much do you think that is per week? That's
Less than $3,000.
yeah, it's $2,750 a week. So we're talking about $2,700 a week is too much, especially when you know children are $400 a week in childcare. Because if you have 3 children, what job is she going to have? What job is she going to be able to get? If she's going to have to, who's going to raise the children? You know what I mean? Who's going to raise the children? So 2,700 is barely enough for childcare if she had to go out there and work. And that's not even childcare with security and all of that. 11,000 is definitely not enough because we're talking about 1,200 a week in childcare. Then we have, how much do you think her mortgage would be to be in a gated community that is safe from the men who terrorize the neighborhoods of less expensive communities?
You know, Black women continue to lose because they have a loser mindset. Like, remember, Tanya, I had you watch Love After Lockup. Did you get to the most current season of it yet?
You know what? After that season with the man, there was a Black guy who had a white girl and a Black girl, right? And the Black girl was kind of square built. The white girl was marshmallowy. And the mother and the sister ganged up on the Black girl because they wanted him to be with the white girl. And the white girl was outside the hotel crying for him and get inside my car. And he drove off with the Puerto Rican or the Latina girl. And after that, I stopped watching. I stopped. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it.
In the most recent one, you have Deontay, and this is a man who's by no means high value. I think he said he made $20 an hour. Yet, even with a white woman who is in prison, he knew that there was an expectation that he provides for her money. So he literally went broke and became homeless, not over one white woman, but multiple imprisoned white women. The white chick that he was dealing with in the newest season, she was in prison. He had sent her $20,000 to $30,000. He didn't have a child by her. He had not met her. He hadn't even had sex with her. But he already knew there was the expectation that he brings money to her and that he provides for her. And that is because these other groups of women, they put out that expectation. You need to have some money. Black women don't. Wow. And so that's why with a lot of Black men, when they get with white women, they will make a way to give her money because they know that expectation is there. Black women are getting what they expect. If you expect nothing from him, if you expect him to be dusty, if you expect him to not bring anything to the table, then he ain't gonna bring it. I don't want to hear a Black man talking about he doesn't have enough money. Oh, well, go figure out how to get some. It's that simple.
Yeah, you know, look, well, here we go.
Prophesy, Papa.
Absolutely. Because I did a video about that guy, Caesar, who was scrubbing corn 7 days a week to be able to send money to a white girl in Ukraine that he had never met, never even seen on live camera. And he was busting his hump to be able to make sure that he got her money because he values that whiteness. And, you know, that's part of what kind of made me take a step back from the show because I noticed that there was a pattern of these. So the Black men on the show, like there was the Black Latino guy was so happy to be with that meth mouth white girl with the long red hair. And he pumped her full of, I think, 2 kids by the time we got to the second. I don't know. It was just, he was willing to be a father to a child that she had before, willing to help her find the children that she got when she was crack hoeing on the street. He was just all about trying to help her get where she wanted to be. Meanwhile, the Black women, so it's like the Black women are looking for Black men who are in jail. The Black men who are out are looking for white women who are in jail. So the Black women are up here jumping through all of these hoops. The Black men are jumping the hoops for the white girls. It's just the show is disheartening. It's saddening. And then I didn't watch anymore after I saw Megan. She had like this stick in her hand with a pregnancy thing on there. And the preview was like, where she was like, yeah, of course. And I said, fuck this shit. And I didn't look again.
Megan didn't get pregnant by him. But I mean, after all the money that Megan sent to this dude in prison, after all, mind you, the white chick, Sarah, she said she hasn't sent him any money in prison. So even though he's married to this white woman, she wasn't supporting him financially in prison. That virgin black woman who had her daddy home. So I'm really feeling like the black male worship is ingrained in black women. It doesn't matter whether you have a daddy at home or not. Actually, I think if you have a daddy at home, it's going to make you a harder black male worshiper. Even though she had her dad there, she still worshiped that jailbird black man. And he only came out only for him to get out of jail and leave her for a ran down chihuahua looking like white Puerto Rican.
No, you're so
that's
rude.
What she got in return. That's what she got in. You know that chick was the Taco Bell dog. She looked like the Taco Bell dog.
Why? Why must you all be like this? You know something? I cannot with you all. I was watching a show one time. You all had me hollering into the night, talking about some woman look real thick around the neck. I cannot. Now you're talking about a rundown chihuahua looking dog. Lord have mercy. But I was stunned. I was really stunned. I was stunned by the show. And then the Mormon woman and getting impregnated in a closet, and that black man, he was like, yeah, you know, I like my. I was like, what the? I couldn't understand. I was like, the desperation, the glaring reality of that show was too much to bear. It really was. It was too much to bear.
But ain't it the same on Married at First Sight? On every single show where they show the dynamic between black women and black men, you'll have black men aggressively chasing non-black women and basically curbing black women, and black women aggressively going towards the black men who don't want them. So black women's psychology is set up to lose. It's set up to lose. There's no problem with you having an expectation that a man provides for you, especially if you have children by this man. Yet it's on autopilot for black women to shelter black men from manhood, all the while complaining that there's no man in the community. You complain that there's no provision and no protection, but then when a man is forced by the courts, because really this woman shouldn't have had to put Rick Ross on child support. Why is a man who's making $500,000 a month having to be taken to court to be put on child support? Because that means that he didn't have an agreement prior to that. He wasn't agreeing to provide for children that he created, although he can afford them. He can afford to pay for those children, but he just didn't want to.
Yeah, well, you know, on Married at First Sight, I'll say this. They just did their first interracial couple on Married at First Sight, because remember, they had a hard time matching black women because the producers said that black men came on there not wanting black women. But that's part, because when they had that last episode with Chris and Paige, they let it out that black men are coming on there not wanting black women. So that's why it makes it so difficult to match them. And so then after that, now they've come out with Gil and Merla. And as you see, they're both Latino, but Gil is a black Latino and Merla is a white Latina. And she hasn't even pecked him on the lips. 26 days into marriage, she would not even peck him on the lips. Not a dry peck, not nothing. But the black women are most eager to bust it wide open wedding night because they're just so happy to be able to call themselves a wife. And so Merla, she's not kissing him. She don't care. She just, and he's sitting up there. Like I remember he was bragging to the boys. She finally gave me a peck. And it was embarrassing, honestly, embarrassing.
Yeah, and you know what's most embarrassing is number one, because I've watched the first 2 episodes and then I stopped. So I saw enough to see that he wasn't the type of man that she wanted. He's not the type of man that she wants. And that white Hispanic, she hangs around with a bunch of black women. Most of her friends are Black women. So in her mind, it would be insane to think that she doesn't know that she doesn't think that she would get something better out of this Black man than a Black woman would, and that she'll play it differently. While those Black women are going to worship him, she's not going to do that. She ain't even attracted to him, clearly, because if she was attracted to him, she wouldn't have just now given him a kiss, probably not even on the lips, though. And so Black women are just not learning. They think that they think that with the access to non-Black women, the way that they compete is to worship Black men harder. And all that's doing is keeping you in the loser position that you're in. Can anybody mention one way that Black women win by worshiping Black men?
You can win the Baby Mama Award. Okay. I don't know. I can't think of any way that Black women are winning by flattening themselves out into being a mat. I don't see it. I don't see it. If anything, it actually lowers our value from community to community because other women are seen as the women with standards, and we are seen as the low rent women with no standards. The person that you go to when you need someone to take care of you, when you're a homosexual, that you could find some big fluffy woman or, to take care of you. And even, did you all see that video with that man who woke up? He said he was in this woman's apartment for 3 weeks, and then he woke up and it was dirty, and he was like, he's gonna go get his job back.
No, but what I do know is that Black women are backing a losing team. And I will ask your chat box just like I asked mine, and I'll ask because I know you're live streaming on Facebook too. If Black men disappeared 10 minutes from now, if Black men disappeared, what is it that Black women would go without, except for a Black male body? What would Black women be deprived of if Black men disappeared right now? Anybody in the chat box?
Sporting finesse to watch on TV.
Well, no, their biracial sons are taking that place. Their biracial sons are replacing them in sporting on television, and white men and biracial people are replacing them in rap too. So, what would we miss if Black men disappeared right now?
Hot beats and ill rhymes.
White men and biracial men are replacing them in that area. I mean, who's one of the biggest, most popular producers out there? DJ Khaled.
Oh,
and he ain't Black.
Okay. All right. What about swagger or new styles of dance or dress?
The white Asians can dance just as good as Black men can. The reality is that there isn't anything that Black men are providing that Black women couldn't get from another group of men. And that is the very definition of expendable. They're expendable. And I know that that's a harsh word. I know that Black women don't want to face that reality. The reality is in the fact that you can mention one thing that you would go without, that if Black men cease to exist today, except for a Black male body. They don't protect you. They don't provide anything to you. All of your necessities are being provided by white men. I mean, you can say entertainment. Entertainment isn't a necessity, and Black men are being replaced by their biracial sons like Drake, by their biracial in athletics, their biracial children like LaMelo Ball, Steph Curry. Yeah. No. The world would cease to continue if Black men disappeared. The business would go on as usual. The only thing you would miss is a Black body and some poverty dick.
Interesting.
This is a hard truth.
If there's an answer
nobody in the comment section mentioned one thing.
Yeah. What about is there any Black men could mention? How would Black women suffer besides without Black bodies, Black male bodies, without the poverty peen, etc.? How would Black women suffer as a whole? Not suffer, but
I want that trash bag on Facebook who said he feels sorry for me and said, who raised me? Step up, trash bag, because I feel sorry for you and I want to know who raised you if you are a Black man and you can't even name any way that the world would be at a disadvantage if you disappeared. So you can be mad. You can have your emotional reactions. This is not emotional for me. You can try to talk about who raised me. That's fine. What you can't do is tell me how I would be at a disservice if you disappeared today. Go ahead, tell us.
Do you want to open up the phone
Tell
lines?
us, Black men. I absolutely do. I hope some Black men call in.
All right. Well, you know what? Let me just do some housekeeping first. Let me talk about today's video is sponsored by my vegan makeup pack. As you see, I am wearing all vegan makeup today from forehead to chin. The concealer, the eyeshadow, even the lashes, which I'm trying out new lashes all week, and lip colors. And we had a little debacle the other day with a brown lippy, but I was inspired by Cynthia G and decided to give the brown lips a chance again. And I actually really love this that I have on. It's a combination of 2 different items in the vegan makeup pack. So make sure that you are on my mailing list, TanyaTKO.com/subscribe, so that you will be able to be alerted, because I am going to be selling the pack this Christmas. So it's going to have the blush and the contour, the concealer, the shadow, the lip glosses, eyelashes, and it's going to have everything that you need inside of it so that you don't have to be up on the internet with your fake eyelash filter. You can get the real eyelashes and have your skin look doughy and fresh, because you all know I don't like wearing makeup in my videos, and for a long time I didn't wear makeup, but this makeup is so light and just so airy, like my skin can breathe underneath it, and I feel fine and fresh. And you see, this makeup has me looking like a baby doll. So I am happy. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Make sure that you are on the mailing list to get yours. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And what is that I hear? All right. So there have been a bunch of apples that have come in. So we're going to read those real quick, and then we're going to open up the phone line. So get ready to call in with your commentary. All right. So we have Tamika that sends $50. Thank you so much, Tamika. Thank you. Thank you. Marie sends $5 and says, currently going through that, requesting an increase. Wow. You see what I'm saying? This is unbelievable. Claire sends $1 and says, you have to like according to price of neighborhood. Maybe you have to look according to price of neighborhood. Maybe that's what she's talking about in terms of how much money the baby mama should be getting. MD sends $5 and says, please block Eat It. Check IG DM. You promoting these people on inside the thing, but listen, Black is inside of the thing. Black, we have admins that are here, so I'll look into it. Jessica sends $33 and says, for all 3 of y'all, love when you collaborate. All right, so ladies, I have $11 for you each. So thank you very much for that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and Pepper sends 333 and says, she thinks Black women need to struggle. Absolutely. But I don't understand why. Why doesn't she want to see somebody who looks like her win? And it's probably self-hate. It's probably my mother had to struggle, I have to struggle, so you better struggle too. I'll never forget. There was remember when we were talking about Dominique the creep and how he was inside of that club and he assaulted that woman? There were women who were adamantly talking about how she brought it on herself. She's not innocent. She wasn't really knocked out and all this other stuff, right? And then this one woman was like, you know what? Because I called her out on it. I was like, what is your relationship with assault? And she was like, you know, I was actually assaulted and nobody believed me. And she was like, I guess I'm just perpetuating what happened to me because I felt that, you know, it happened to me, so I need to be like that to other people. So we have this woman who was left with 3 children, whose baby is whining with what some people say sound like an earache in the background. And she's over there talking about what she would do with $11,000, how she would flip it. Dear, if you think $11,000 is that much money, you're not flipping anything, really. You're not. You're not. Come on. Latoya sends $5 and says, not seeking CS equal a badge of honor, so child support. Girl, bye. Thank you. Thank you. There's so many black women. Like, it's like the thing is that if you listen to the instruction from black men about what it is that they say that you need to be in a relationship, those things actually cause you harm. It's like you can never be small enough, never require little enough. You all are going to make me tell the story about the basement and the dog feces. Pepper sends $1 and says, I got $2,500 a month for 20 years ago. You see what I'm saying? She got $2,500 a month. And that woman would probably say that was too much for you. She would probably say that was too much for you. You know, I'm going to tell the story while I open up the phone lines. There was this guy, and this is a real story because I have this associate. Remember when Sergeant Willie P. and so there was a guy that used to roll with them who was an associate of mine, and we talked on the phone, and he told me the day that he had to stop listening to those guys was the day that he was talking to this dude, and the dude was like, he lived with his mother in the basement, and his mother on cold days, because he was in New York, right? On cold days, the mother would send the dog, it was a little dog, or multiple dogs down into the basement to urinate and defecate in the basement where her son lived. And he had this girl come over, and he had intercourse with her in this funky, frowsy, shit-smelling, musty, rank basement. And he was like, yeah, I knew she really cared about me because a nigga didn't have to have shit. She even fucked me in my mother's basement with dog shit and all of this around. And the guy who was my associate said that he told the guy, yeah, but why would you want her to? Like, why would you want to have an environment for a woman to come in that is filthy? Why would you even want to be in that environment? And why is it that you feel that a woman who doesn't care about herself or love herself enough not to go into an environment like that, why is that the litmus test of whether or not she cares about you or whether or not she's a wifey material? And he's like, but yet and still you're not marrying any of these women. So you said she's wifey material, but you didn't marry her or the last few that you mistreated. So they have all of these standards for you to jump through these hoops of disgust to show how low your standards are. And that's supposed to be like, yeah. Because remember, even this girl inside of this thing was like, you're not a woman. So to her, a woman is somebody who can show that she doesn't need anything, that she can be abused, that she can take all of this, that she can endure all of this. And it's like, no, by that point, you're not a woman anymore. You are some misshapen creature formed out of the despair and the derelictness that comes from the community. It's like by that point, you're no longer in your feminine. You're something else, an animal of sorts, just surviving best way that you can. Unbelievable. Listen, phone lines are open. This is the number, right? Oh, call coming in. All right, you're on the air live with Tanya and Nylah and Cynthia. What's your comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment with regards. I'm an older African American woman. I think basically what happens is what Cynthia said, black women, we have a loser mentality. What we have to do is we have to understand that we have white supremacy and unfortunately black men to deal with. And you hear comments when you hear men say it's basically easy to get black women having sex with black women. They'll say things like, I like this preference woman because I can get a black woman anytime. And black women have to take as little girls, we have to raise our daughters, cousins, nieces, whatever, with the expectation that they're most likely are going to have to provide for themselves, and they need to educate themselves. Whatever, it doesn't mean necessarily getting a degree, but they have to do things that they are going to take and they're going to provide for themselves. And they're not, and whoever they date, black, white, Jew, Gentile, doesn't make a difference. There are certain standards that they're going to have to meet, period. And if that person doesn't meet those standards, then they get the bye-bye. You move on. And again, once you tell a man no, even if he comes back with your requirements, the answer is still no. He lost the opportunity. He had it at that time. And if he did not come up to those standards at the time when you're dating, he doesn't get you. Yeah. A no is a no, and it's forever. Yeah. And you move on with your life, with your blessed, well-polished life, living a good life, being able to take care of yourself, period.
Yeah.
And you do not let people into your body until you properly vet them.
Yeah.
And I say don't let anybody into your body. And proper vetting is ring, finger with the signature on the marriage contract. But everybody has to do what their own. But these girls have to stop. I've worked in a high school. I've heard stories of little black girls going down on their knees for something like a Happy Meal. And we have to raise these girls totally different. Your body is your treasure. It is, it is a thing, that not everybody gets a chance to hold. And we have to be very, very, very serious about that. But that's it. That's my comment. Thank you kindly. Have a good day.
Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. All right. Ladies, thoughts?
So I don't believe in using, and I anybody who wants to do whatever they want to do, you can do it. But I think that if you have to withhold sexual access from black men in order for them to marry you or do right by you, then they're just not worth it. Like, I just don't believe in using that to shape the behavior of men who should be doing what they should be doing just because it's their duty as a man.
Yeah. Yeah, we have another call that just came in. You're on the air live with Tanya, Cynthia, and Nylah. What's your name?
Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
Or it's TD in the comments.
Okay, so TD, what is your comment today?
I just wanted to say I used to work for child support, and he should be paying more, in my opinion. Who knows what happened? A lot of times when they get these lower child support orders, they use their attorneys. And their attorneys present all these false, narratives and everything. I mean, sometimes it's not always false, but, it depends on how much debt Rick Ross actually has. But $11,000 for 3 children, that is, to me, ridiculous because, I've seen them where for 2 children, it would be almost $20,000. So, we don't know what the court order actually says because some of these court orders do include verbiage that says that they have to pay for child care or they have to pay for health insurance or whatever. So without knowing all the details, I can say that when I used to calculate support orders, 11,000, I can't believe that. And I think that women who are talking like these women are in these videos, they're just talking out of ignorance and they're talking out of jealousy and they're talking out of their own pain because they want that money, Yeah. I had to talk to a lot of different women when I was calculating support orders, and they would often feel sorry for their, exes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they would feel sorry. I am guilty of that as well. But they would feel bad and they would say, oh, we don't want to do this. And they're going to call me a gold digger. And these weren't black women. They were all of all ethnicities.
Really?
So it's just something that they don't understand, that child support is not just money. It's child support supports the whole of the child. PG&E, I had to tell people it's PG&E, it's mortgage, it's gas. It's, one guy was like, oh, she got a brand new car, well, I said, well, was her other car broke down? And he would say, well, yeah. I'm like, well, would you like her driving your child around in a bad area in a broke down car, and so on and so forth. So we would have to explain and go into detail about what child support is, because people talk out of ignorance and they don't understand that, like you all said on the panel, child support is for their current living status. If they live in a mansion, they can't survive off $11,000 if their mortgage is $15,000, and if they don't have money to pay the mortgage, that does not support the children or the child. So she better take him back to court. That's all I got to say. She better get her money and her spousal support and whatever else, that she can put into that order, health insurance and all that, because all that supports the children. So anyway, that's what I had to say. And I love you guys. You got all of you guys. I'll be rocking with all y'all. And I'm going to change my bank account on my Cash App, and y'all going to get some more money.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, you guys have a great day.
All right.
Can I make a comment really quickly?
Yeah.
I think that Black women are searching for ways to make Black men do right by them, whether it be withholding sex or so-called going through this vetting process. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't go through this vetting process, but remember back in the 90s, and for me, because I was born in the 80s, so you can't go too far back in the 90s for me where I would have had a lot of an understanding. But what I do know is that there was a point when Black men were saying that Black women were too sexually chaste. They were too prudish. And that's why they had to go to other groups of women. And now it's the very same Black women who haven't learned from the past, who are saying, oh, just vet them. Oh, well, just wait 90 days or 80 days or a year to have sex with them. I grew up, I spent a lot of my younger years in Washington State. It's predominantly white. And I can tell you, being around white women, they're not concerned about how soon they have sex with men. They don't think that if in order to get a man to act right, that they need to withhold sex for 90 days or 30 days. I've never heard them talking about, oh, we just need to vet these men. Oh, we just need to do this. We just need to do that. Black men are not going to be right. You don't hear white men or white women saying, well, maybe if we just don't have sex with white men, then maybe they'll be. Nobody's saying that, because their men get up and they do what they have to do, because that is what men are supposed to do. If you have a group of men who just don't want to be men, you can have sex with them in 10 days or 10 years, and it's not going to make a difference. And I just noticed this in Black women, where they're just desperately trying to find out, what can they do to make Black men value them more? Well, what am I doing to make him not want to marry me? I never saw other groups of women doing this. When I was in high school, I went to school with Asians, white and white Mexican. I never heard any of them. In fact, the white girls were sucking dick in locker rooms.
That is true.
But
you know what? There was an inherent value. But you see, the problem is that there is an inherent lack of value seen in Black women and girls. And we do have a call that came in. You're on the air live with Tanya, Cynthia, Nylah. What's your name?
My name is Jerry. How are you?
Hi, Jerry. What is your comment today?
I'm listening to the comments that the women are making. Some people in the sidebar and all those other places. It seems to me that there's a very strong sense of bullying, and when you think about just the powerful drive that it seems like everybody is having to push the Negro people, Black people, Israelite people, whatever people, however you want to describe us as a demographic group, but it's like there's this strong push for us to become violent towards one another somehow, and it's not just coming from the Black men, it's not just coming from the Black women, I was listening to a man who was telling me the other day about how there was a black woman came into the store. She was wearing a mini skirt. Then a man, a Caucasian, a white man came in, and he looked at the black man and dropped his head as though the woman was a disgrace. And he fell into agreement with it. At the time we were having this conversation, I pointed out the fact, I said, think about this. No matter what a white woman do, you will never, ever, I have never, maybe at some far stretch of the imagination, but I have never seen a white man come into agreement with anybody of any demographic group against a white woman.
Well, other white men in the manosphere, yeah, but not from a different demographic. I haven't seen that. Unless they're trying to curry favor and they're like, oh, I don't like white girls. They too bland. I like chocolate. You know, that's the only time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, you make a really good point. And that's pretty much when you, like you said, you find someone trying to get an inroad into the culture for some strange reason or another. They're trying to become more black and more so-called down. But even in that sense, those are men when push comes to shove and they're ready to reassociate with their own people. They're not going to come. Yeah, they're not going to do this. I don't care what the cost is. They know first and foremost something that's not negotiable, discussable, or debatable for a white man. When you come through the door, you're not going to come in. You're not going to disrespect nobody's daughter. You're not going to disrespect their wife. You're not going to disrespect their mother. But you can sit down at a whole table. I had a senior citizen black woman. I mean, she was really old. And all of her children, black and white. And this is, I don't understand the mindset. There's some sort of a twistedness going on with us as a people to where we're turning on one another to the extent that we cannot find, the enemy don't want us to find unity, but I'm going to say we're going to find unity. We're going to come up out of this mess because this is confusion. There's some sort of a mental haze going on with us.
Which enemy are you saying doesn't want us to find unity? What are you talking about? Which enemy?
This is the problem.
Okay. Let's go back and I'm gonna I think in dimensions.
I just need you to tell me who the enemy is. Give the enemy a name.
I personally
so you can tell me.
Okay, I believe that the enemy is definitely something spiritual with us, because so in the natural, so in the spirit. I think something took place somewhere a long time ago that scarred us emotionally, spiritually, and it's created this soulish thing that we do where it keeps us blocked away from one another. There's this barrier.
Can you ask her who is us that she's talking about? Who is the us that?
I'm talking about.
Go ahead. Who is the us that you're talking about?
I don't want you to assume. I want you to know clearly. I'm talking about Negro, Black, Israelite, African American. People who are what's supposed to say of the melanated people.
Ma'am, are you a Hebrew Israelite? Ma'am, are you a Hebrew Israelite?
I am an Israelite, and yes, I do practice the Hebrew faith.
But the sweetheart, the Israelites are the Hebrew Israelite. You can just say yes or no, and you clearly are one. So this is the thing that I said. I said black women keep trying to find ways to make black men do right. If it's not withholding sex, it's going to be religion. It's going to be something. They just don't value you. It just is what it is. It doesn't have anything to do with your religion. They do not value you. If black men valued you, you wouldn't have to do all of this. Like, I'm not into forcing anybody to place value on me. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to find some divinity to place on dust. They're just dusty trash bags. It is what it is. Nobody's making them be this way. Nobody put a spell on them. They're choosing to be this way. And the Bible isn't going to get them out of it.
Okay, you say the Bible is not going to get them out of it. And so therefore, okay, but as a human, you take on a whole lot of power when you make statements that say that there's nothing that can bring up. What's going to happen to us as a people if we continue on living and hating and bickering and then permitting ourselves, whether it's a spiritual thing or a natural thing, at some point we have to decide. Somebody got to say enough is enough. This, and I understand this is a talk show.
Ma'am, and that would be you and other Black women saying enough is enough. Black men have had plenty time to get it together. We're not going to sit here and cape for you. We're not going to wait. You either get it together or you get dismissed. It's just that simple. And really, quite frankly, that Hebrew Israelite religion that you're subscribing to is only exacerbating an already depraved pathology in Black men. The religion you subscribe to is actually making their pathology worse.
Okay, and you know what? I'm not even going to argue with you and say that I totally disagree with it. But when it comes down to watching the Hebrew Israelite men and like you said, there is definitely a pathology going on, even within. Yeah, and I'm not going to deny it, because I've seen the Hebrew Israelite elders call their mothers bitches on the platform. I saw all of the men laugh with them. I actually saw where they have disgraced women, and that's kind of like their rallying call. It's like they'll come together, and they'll say they're coming together under the faith, but yet and still it will turn on a Black woman on a dime. And I've seen it happen in the masses.
Cynthia, I want to jump in here right now. Ma'am, can you tell me what your name is again? I'm sorry, I forgot it.
Jerry.
All right, Jerry. My question to you is this. Do you believe that Black men are capable?
Capable of, are you thinking
as a human being, do you think they're capable as human beings, as men, as God bodies, as whatever? Do you think that they're capable? Or do you?
Not only are they capable, but they are mighty men. They are mighty men of valor.
Okay.
They are royal priesthood. They are
Listen.
awesome.
All right. I agree with you. I believe that Black men are capable, right? So if you believe that Black men are capable and they're mighty, right? And they're all of these amazing words, right? Why is it that you're not taking it at face value that they are not behaving right because they don't want to? They're capable of behaving right, but they have decided they do not want to. You're talking about mighty, valoric, amazing, kingly men who are capable.
That's exactly right.
But yet you doubt the fact that they are making a choice not to show up. They're making a choice to enact violence. They make a choice not to show up for their children. They are making a choice of sound mind. As the kings that you say that they are, the king has made his choice to be a bum. Why are you not respecting his choice?
In the stance that I'm taking, I am not saying that it is a conscious choice. When I see people doing certain things, I know there's things that's been impacting their lives, their minds, their situations, whatever it is that they're going through. They may be making choices, but the choices that they're making is clearly out of desperation, and a lot of it is not even conscious.
So this is a desperate king? I'm trying to figure out.
Hold on a second.
Yes?
Because see, you have to realize that there comes a time when we must see, okay, there's something has made these men conscious and minds wax cold. When you find people, not just only Black men, but Black women too, some folks can't even discern good from evil. You look at these Black women, you talk about how wicked and rotten Black men are, will get up, not only will they let themselves be impregnated, but will then turn around and throw their legs open and let an abortionist come in and kill their own offspring. Why? Because they think that the father's not going to pay child support or whatever.
Ma'am, you're part of the problem because you can't even tell good from evil. You can't even tell it. How are black men mighty? Hold on. How are black men mighty but desperate? How are they mighty but so susceptible to whatever brainwashing or spiritual corruption you're alluding to? How can you say both of those things in the same breath? Because you're saying that they're mighty, but you're describing the characteristics of a weak person. You can't be mighty and weak at the same time. So which one is it? Are they so weak that they're susceptible to all of this programming and spiritual corruption and subconscious bad decision making? But they're also, but they're weak. They're weak and mighty. How?
Okay, all right. Take your position, for instance. Right where you sit today. Hold a second. Okay, wait. No.
I would really love for you to answer the question.
I'm going to give you an example. You have a platform, and you can get on this platform, and you can make your voice vibrate and say anything that you want to say. But you see that as mighty, right? But look at the weakness in what's going on, because the very words that's coming from you, those words are coming out like arrows. They're coming out like darts and bullets. And every time those words go forth and pierce someone, think about that.
Ma'am, that's an oxymoron. You cannot be mighty and weak at the same time. It is not possible. So which one is it? Are they mighty or
I'm trying not to.
Mighty. I'm definitely saying mighty. No, see, you're saying weak. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The word that you're using, you're using the word weak. You're using the word.
You're saying they're weak. You're saying
we have a lot of women who are really, listen though, we have a lot of women who've been wounded, who've been hurt, all kinds of, we've gone through some things.
I mean, come the hell on.
And you know what? In all that we have been through, there's only been two things that we've had, and that's the Most High and our men.
Cause you're the black man I wish I knew. There's no one who could ever do. No. I'm sorry. I thought that I just we needed a moment. Ma'am, if you could pause, go back and answer the question. How can a person be both mighty and weak at the same time? Answer that question, please.
I certainly will. Look at the likes of Yahshua, or who they call Jesus. He, God of the universe, decided to permit himself to go through a crucifixion when he could have stepped down out of his situation and actually called in a legion of angels to destroy anything on this planet that he wanted to be wiped away. He held his peace. He held his ground. So a lot of things that when we're looking at black men saying that they're weak, we don't know. Maybe they're holding.
Let her finish her answer, Cynthia. Let her finish her answer. I want to hear this.
Yeah, thank you. It's a matter of holding back. It's a matter of not just letting go whatever it is that you feel like you just want to just rush into.
I don't believe in Jesus. Ma'am, I don't believe in Jesus. Can you give me an example of an actual real character, not a biblical fairy tale character? I don't believe in Jesus. So can you give me a real life example?
Listen to you. You don't believe in Jesus. You don't believe in Yeshua. Matter of fact, you're probably, hold on a second, and I'm just going to tell you like it is. You may even be you may even be a lesbian atheist, for all I know. But no, hold on a second. No, she wants to try to bring shame on somebody else because she has issues with her own identity as a woman and her own femininity. She wants to get up and just rip black men left and right.
Excuse me, ma'am. I need you. Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am.
Satan is a liar.
Okay, so you want to be? I'm sorry. You want to disrespect me now? This is what you want to come on and disrespect me? I need listen. You're disrespecting me right now, and I need what I need from you right now is to stop speaking. That's what I need right now. I need you to stop speaking, okay? Because you talk about bullying in this way that we're supposed to treat one another, but you're coming in and now you're name calling. Cynthia has not called you a name. you're calling her heathen and these other things. You need to temper yourself. Get yourself in control. Okay? Because I don't want to have to control you on this broadcast. And I don't want to have to release the phone call. If you want to talk to Cynthia and if you want to speak on this platform, you have to be able to control yourself. Take your emotion out of it. Take your emotion out of it. Answer the question, how can a person be both mighty and weak at the same time? You mentioned Jesus or Yeshua, but Cynthia is saying she doesn't believe in that. And that is her right to not believe in that. She doesn't have to believe in it. I personally, I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. So when you start giving your examples, can you use another example? Because if there's a person outside of the Christian faith, what they saw was a man crucified, stabbed 2 times, and then died. If they don't believe in what it is that you believe, then he was just a man who got stabbed, who went around with people who believed what he said made sense. He got strung up on a cross, stabbed 2 times, and died. So according to the story, the narrative that was placed, and I traveled the Middle East. Christianity was a cult for hundreds of years. It wasn't until Constantine decided that he would attempt to use this religion for manipulative purposes. And then they found an image of a pedophile and all of this other stuff. There's a lot of problems that are existing in modern day Christianity. So when we're talking about Black men, unless you're too saying that Black men need to stand up there and show how powerful they are by getting crucified and stabbed 2 times, right? Unless that's what you're saying, then that means that they can be wiped off the face of the earth, and then you can just go ahead and worship them. Because if you're mentioning Jesus as the example for Black men, then you do worship Black men, is what you're saying. Because now your new Jesus is the Black man, no?
All right. First of all, let me just back up a little bit. The woman did call me delusional, okay?
Saying that a person
she called me several other names.
Listen.
So
she said that you were part of the problem, right? And she's entitled to her opinion by saying that you're part of the problem. Delusional is an adjective that describes a noun. Calling a person a heathen is a noun. You cannot tell Cynthia what it is that she is. I don't believe in name calling on this channel. You cannot tell what Cynthia is. You can say what you believe that she may sound like, what you believe she may act like, but you don't have the power vested in you to tell Cynthia who she is as a human being and as goddess incarnate. You don't have that ability. You're out of your depth there. So you cannot tell her what she is. You can say what you feel that she may behave like. That's a different story. But don't go above and beyond beyond your ability.
Correcting me. Yeah. Thank you for correcting me. Okay, she was behaving and talking to me like she was a heathen. So I'm not going to call her a heathen at this point. Thank you for bringing that correction. The fact of the matter is, Cynthia, and neither do you don't know the truth from A to Z. And the fact that
I'm sorry, you don't know what it is that I know. I have to cut you off right there. I had a near-death experience. I know what it's like to begin to die, and I know what it is that I experienced. So you cannot tell me what you read in the book of man. You cannot. You don't know where it is that I've been and where I've come back from. You don't know why I'm here today, and you don't know what messages I received from where. You don't know. You don't know. So I would like for you to stay within your depth. The question was, how can a person be both mighty and weak at the same time as it relates to Black men? What is your example that anybody can relate to, please? Not just people who believe what it is that you believe in a book promoted to you by.
Okay. You know what? This is where I can see mighty and weak operating in the Black man at the same time.
Okay.
For all of those Black men who got up and walked to work and went to work every day to take care of Black women and Black children, they were mighty men. But when the KKK rolled up on them and they catch them off by themselves, they knew how to survive long enough. They lived another day so that they could continue to fight for Black women and Black children. Another example of when a Black man can be mighty.
Hold Hold on. I'm going to let Cynthia, since you've answered the question, Cynthia, does that answer suffice that they were mighty and weak at the same time as the KKK was stringing them up, and that they were taking care of Black women and families? We've gone through the data.
No, because mighty says that mighty, the definition of mighty says that you possess great and impressive strength or power, especially on account of your size. So the fact that Black men were even in slavery and subjugated would mean that they're not mighty. Actually, weak is the exact opposite of mighty, and Black men have only exhibited weakness. Now, she's trying to say they're mighty because they took care of children that they created. So we're impressed because
I'm saying that they're mighty because they took care of children that they created at the risk of their own lives just to provide for them. Their situation wasn't like every other man's situation where they could get up and go to work and have peace and not have any type of conflict, not worried about the police killing them before they get home from work.
It makes me very nervous when people are talking over each other. It irritates me. I don't want to be irritated. I need you to stop speaking. When you all hear somebody else speaking, please stop speaking. So Cynthia says that she doesn't see that as the definition of mighty, that the fact that they were enslaved in the first place shows that they were weak. So it's like they were mighty in a situation in which their weakness allowed them to get into in the first place.
All right. Now, see, remember how you were telling me earlier about how.
Hold on. Let me let Cynthia. No, you gave your example. No. Cynthia didn't get a chance to speak. So let Cynthia follow up. Go ahead, Cynthia.
Like I'm trying to figure out how her example of Black men taking care of their children would show that they have a great and impressive level of power and strength. How does them taking care of their children in a situation where you're admitting that they're so weak that someone has control over whether they live or die, how does taking care of their children exhibit a great and impressive power or strength?
The ability to get up and face a day when you know that your life can be on the line just from you stepping outside of your door. The ability to choose life and to choose life for a child when it's so easy for you to abort that child and then try to make your world a little bit easier, to not reproduce an image of yourself to keep other people from getting up and calling this is what a Black man is looking like. There is no hope for a Black man. There is no power in a Black man, so that they can abort those little Black boys so that they don't have to hear any woman sit up and make that kind of a report against them.
I would like to jump in here real quick. Hold on, ma'am. You hear me talking, right? I'd like to jump in here real quick, right? So basically you're saying that merely getting up in the morning is what makes a person mighty?
A person who's been beat down, a person who have gone through certain types of life experiences, been put on the front line every single day. Some people just get up in the morning and just do what they got to do. But some folks get up and they step out their door and they're on the front line. And they're out there by themselves. It's not other than the fact that some of them do. Some of them may have faith. Okay, some of them may have faith.
You answered my question, so I want to follow up. You answered my question, so I just want to follow up, right? Can you not see how a man living in subjugation at the mercy of other men? So basically the story that I'm envisioning that you're painting is a man with some children he created by having intercourse, right? And that his feat of mightiness is merely waking up in the morning and going outside where another man has the ability to decide whether he lives or dies. That he is in a situation where he is essentially at the mercy of another man's patriarchy, another man's whims, another man's violence, and that him navigating, not bursting his shoulders up into the air and overcoming but walking out, doing what it is that he has to do to go to work, trudging along, that is what makes him mighty, not getting out of his subjugation.
No, okay. No, that's not what I'm saying. I want you to this. Can I say something? Do you mind?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to shift this. Look at black women and how right now there is a shift of power and how black women don't have nothing. Black women and black children are the fastest growing homeless population in America. Now, as fast as the population is seeming like it's coming to a demise, you have another group of women, which are white women, who are getting up. They're opening up the homeless shelters. They're opening up all of they're running the school systems. They're in the medical system. And they're the ones who are the nurturers of black women. They're giving black women their identity. They're telling us how to think, how to act, how to feel.
Hold on, I want to hear this last sentence that she's saying. You're saying white women are giving black women their identity.
This new identity, this identity of trying to, throw off any type of sense of maternal power or bond, any type of idea of saying, how about if I want to be a black woman who want a black man who can have a healthy family, who can have healthy children, who don't have to abort women, who don't have to abort her children, who don't have to feel like she needs to comply with all of the medical things that the European or the white woman is telling us that we must comply with in order for our children to be able to go to school. So a lot of things, like you say, we look at the black man and we can pick him apart piece by piece until he's nothing left but a bag of dirt. But let's hold ourselves up before the looking glass.
Hold on. I just did a quick Google search for the fastest growing demographic of homeless population in the United States. And I am not seeing that it's black women and children. I'm not seeing that. So I need you to provide me the link. Excuse me, ma'am. I need you to provide me the link for the data that you're quoting, just so that we can be on the same page with whatever, with the data that you're presenting, right? Because from what it is that I'm seeing, the fastest growing population of educated, the fastest growing population of college and higher education graduates, the fastest growing population of CEOs is actually black women. So I need for you to send me the data that you're seeing so that we can be on the same page, all right? Because we're going to have to scrub that from the record.
I can even give it to you.
I don't like to, excuse me. I just...
Housing for Urban Development has all the statistics, and black women and children is at the top of the list.
I need you to send me the exact link, okay? So that we can get on the same page. Okay?
No problem. Okay.
All right, wonderful. So, Cynthia, go ahead and follow up.
Yeah, no, I noticed how she switched it to talk about black women being impoverished so that she didn't have to answer how are black men mighty in a position of subjugation. And then she talked about how, all of these issues that black women have, what are the mighty morphin black men doing? What are the mighty black men doing about all of these things?
Yeah, because ma'am, let me tell you this. If you provide a statistic that shows that black women and children are the fastest growing population of homeless, you know what that means, right? That a black man has left her with children, with no way to care for his children, and now she is without housing. And remember, these children a stork did not bring the children. A black man pumped the children into her. She decided not to abort. And now you're saying that the black men are allowing his women and children to enter into homelessness. While what is he doing? This is not a good look. Where is the mightiness in that? Ma'am, why is it that you're cutting me off while I'm speaking? God, it's like, come on.
Go ahead. My apology. Go ahead.
I'm wrapped now. Go ahead and trample over my words. It's like the way that you communicate and the way that you behave is not respectful. You don't respect when other people are speaking. I can't get a word out edgewise. Did you send the link yet?
I will be sending it to you. I have not sent it to you yet, but I'll send
All
you
right.
more demographics.
So I
from
want to
that.
know, why is it that when you start talking about Black men's failures, you turn around to Black women and start talking about what Black women are not doing? Because if there's a child created, and listen, if Black women are not supported and not cared for, and their children and them are entering into homelessness, it's because of the failures of Black men to care for the children that he created.
And I do agree with you. I know for certain that a lot of the situation that it couldn't happen without a Black man taking his part in it. I totally agree with that. And I'm also saying we live in a voice activated earth. Everything that we say, everything that we do, we can actually project things and profess our own destinies. The things that and I'm listening to the conversation here. It sounds very clever. It sounds well thought out. It's like the idea of being able to come together and have some sharp words to be said to cut down a Black man.
You
it
think
seems like
that it's cutting
okay.
down? I have to cut you off right there, because you're assigning your perspective on the words and claiming that it's cutting down. You know, listen, I believe in Black men. I respect Black men. So when you hear the criticisms that I state, we're talking about reality, what exists. Can you point to the lie that Cynthia has said? What is the lie that she has stated? You say that it's cutting down, but if there are people that are elevating, that are inflating Black men beyond where it is that they have risen to of merit, then stating the truth seems like cutting down. Name the lie that Cynthia has stated, please. The next sentence that you say, I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak. The only thing that I want you to answer is, what is the lie? That's it.
Here, this is the lie that Cynthia has stated. And I'm going to make my statement based on the truth that I know, okay? Because like you said, everybody has different ideas.
I only want the lie. I don't want the filibuster or the monologue. I only want the lie. State the lie that Cynthia has stated. That's it. I want to hear, what is the lie?
The lie that she has stated is in her denying that the Black man, that the Israelite man, is not the actual incarnate image of the Most High in the earth, walking in power and dominion with might and majesty.
Okay,
that is
listen.
The lie
Give me the video Cynthia stated that in, because she didn't state that in this one. Which video did Cynthia say anything about some Black man walking in dominion and power? Cynthia, which video did you ever state that in?
There's enough implied here.
I actually said Black men are expendable. Black men don't provide anything, and that if Black men would disappear right now, business would go on as usual. They wouldn't be missed, except by Black male worshiping women like this one on the phone. Where is the lie in that?
Okay. The lie is this: if Black men wasn't here, the whole earth would disappear. That's the lie. And it is that you are saying that if they were not here, that nothing would happen. It wouldn't make a difference. If Black men wasn't here, the whole entire planet would disappear. There would be no.
Let Cynthia answer now. You say that the planet would not go on. Cynthia has a follow-up question.
That's exactly right. The earth would stop.
What does Black man's existence have to do with the planet continuing to rotate? What does it have to do with it?
Black men are the strongest spiritual magnetic energy on the planet.
And
if they were not here, it would be the end.
Lady, I'm not talking about a fairy tale fantasy in your head. I'm saying that's fine that you feel that way. You're saying they're the most strongest magnetic. Evidence by what? What is your proof?
The fact that the universe is still going.
And
The
black
fact
men are
that you
doing
are
what
free
to
to come and
you
sit.
for
The,
yoga?
the fact that you can, my proof is just the fact that you can come and sit here as a woman and sit on this platform and say whatever you want to say about them, and you can still have the freedom and have a relative degree of safety, because there was a time when you wouldn't have been able to open up and say anything. You would not have been able to do nothing, because the contribution
Ma'am, that's
for
because of
all
white
that
women
black
and
men have given,
feminism.
it's
You
brought
know
Ma'am,
you to the
what?
place where you're
ma'am,
at today.
Yeah,
ma'am,
pause for a moment. Pause for a
ma'am,
moment.
that's because of white, ma'am, that's because of white women and feminism. The reason I'm able to sit here on the internet isn't because of black men, it's because of white women and feminism.
I'd like
Okay,
to
now
jump
listen.
in here before
Can I say
you
something?
no,
Can I
no,
please say something?
it's my turn to speak right now. We entered into slavery because of black men. We are in the position of subjugation because we were trafficked by black men. Black male descendants were birthed into the enslavement of the transatlantic trafficking trade, subjugated and sold by black men. Black men are the reason why we are in a position of weakness today, both male and female. It is white men that is keeping Cynthia safe. This is the white man's platform. The software we use was developed by white men. So white men are the police force, are the ones that keep black women safe when black men stopped acting right. And as a matter of fact, there are legions of black men online right now who are waiting for white male patriarchy to crumble so that they can go upside your head and into your womb and uterus so that you won't, well, you sound a little bit outside of birthing range, but so that women would not be able to not give birth to their RAPE babies.
Wow.
Where is the lie in what I
So
just said? Just to state, what did I say that was not true?
This is why I said she's delusional.
I want her to answer. What is it? I know what I said may hurt some people to hear, but where is the lie in what I just said?
well, the thing is, remember when I was mentioning to you about the truth from A to Z? And because I know you're not going to let me go into an explanation to be able to show you, because see, you might have gotten something right someplace along letter D, but then even prior to what you're saying, as far as wasn't it black men who kidnapped other black men and black women and brought them into the slave trade in the first place? Prior to that, there was an encounter. There was something that went on. And so you are coming with parts of the truth, but it is not the truth from A to Z. And hence, you have people who might hear what you're saying, and they may come totally in agreement with it, but because they don't understand that there should be a pattern where they can, if they can't draw the complete whole line, then you can't just
so
take
you're
out the
basically
pieces
not going
of
to
the
say
truth
where the
that
lie is. So listen, if
no,
there's
no, you
something
can't.
that I
No,
stated,
no, listen, but it's pieces
listen, if
of
there's
truth.
something that I stated which is not true, please tell me, point out in the statements that I just made, what did I say that was not true? And I'm going, you know what, before you answer that, because I guess you couldn't answer because I gave you the chance to answer, I'm going to say this. Listen, I understand what you're saying about the power embedded in black people, in the hue, the melanin, and all of that. I get what you're saying, because I do believe that we are a mighty people. I believe that. I believe that we have innovation and ingeniousness that is embedded in us, creativity that is unmatched. This is what I believe, right? However, I'm going to tell you this. Giving black men undue elevation without them earning it, without them showing and proving, it puts you at a disadvantage. We don't make them mighty by getting on our knees so that they can seem tall. They become mighty by grabbing onto the mantle of manhood, by grabbing the reins of their mightiness and being mighty. When you said that we're on a voice-activated earth, there's some people who didn't understand what you were saying, but you know I have a book of affirmations. You see it behind me right there. I believe in affirmations and I understand what you're saying. However, you are not speaking the truth and you're not being truthful when you elevate the deeds. Like when Cynthia asked you, what is the proof of what it is? What is the example? You could not come up with an example. And this is because you have to let men be men. And right now you are chopping them down to their knees and you are making them weak by not allowing them to be men. You are smothering and mothering them. And you've got to stop that because you only make things more dangerous because you have a bunch of people walking around, knuckles dragging on the ground, kings with no kingdom, with their chest inflated, not caring for their children, enacting violence on the neighborhood, not getting educated to the degree that they need to become educated, not staying off of the corners and out of jail. And you're still pumping them up to a fantasy. They need to rise. Listen, I was raised in a home with a strong patriarch. I understand a thing about male nature, and male nature does not need women to smother and mother them. They need for women to tell them what is expected of them or resting into their femininity and know that they're not able to enter into this realm unless they rise themselves up. They do not rise from women smothering and mothering them. And they're not going to rise from your tactic. As a matter of fact, we can take a survey right now. In the audience. I only want men to answer this survey, right? Which is it that motivates you to actually go out there and do the things that you need to do to get your money up, to get your weight up, to stop letting people put their knee on your neck? Is it the harshness that comes from the truth that Cynthia speaks? When Cynthia shows examples of how logically Black men are expendable based on the definition of expendability. Which one motivates you to get your weight up more? The harsh truth coming from Cynthia or the coddling that comes from the woman on the phone, trying to speak kingness into a person who is down on his knees and doesn't believe it himself and will beat you in the face and head if you say it to him in the submissive way that he claims that he wants you to be. Which is the way? If it's Cynthia's way, put up the number 1. This is only for men to answer. I don't want to see any men and any women. If it's the woman on the phone, put up the number 2. We're going to look at the survey right now. All right, I want to see the survey, and please give the people the chance to answer their survey.
All right. And can I please clarify something? My purpose was not to coddle a grown man. And when I mentioned the fact that Black men it's a harrowing act just to get up and face a day.
Alexander puts up a 1. Calvin puts up a 1. Excuse me. Calvin put up a 1. Alexander put up a 1. Robert put up a 1. Claude put up a 1. Kimberlyn, which is a woman's name, put up a 2. Chris put up a 2. Jontel put up 111. The men are letting you know. They're letting you know. They're letting you know. Leslie put up a 1. Disrespectful God put up a 1. Urban put up a 1. Sinri put up a 1. Gaster put up a 1. Edward put up a 1. These are the men speaking. Jean put up a 2. Money Mo put up a 1. You see the numbers coming in.
The numbers that are coming in, those are numbers. Those are the people. That's the demographic. I think those numbers really do reflect the fact that people, number one, they're probably not understanding what I am saying. And number two,
they heard you.
Okay, well, maybe they did, but then also the second thing that I'd like to
what I want you to do is I want you to get out of your masculine right now. Rest back in your feminine for me, please. And just let it sink over what is happening right now. Men are speaking. And the men are saying that women holding them to true account is what motivates them to lift up as men. Not someone coming around talking about you are God and you're mighty and all of this and that with no evidence thereof. The men are speaking. Are you willing to rest in your feminine and listen to what the men are saying?
True masculinity is something that is to be respected, whether it's through a white male or a black male.
Excuse me, ma'am, you're not answering the question. I asked you to please rest into your femininity. Just take a few moments to rest into your femininity and just let it wash over you what has happened. Don't be so eager to get your talking point out. Let's be in the moment, be present with me, and let's talk about what is happening right now that the men are speaking. Percy put up a 1. Are you willing to admit what is going on right now? Not to say that these men don't know what's going on, or maybe they don't understand, or they misunderstand you, or they don't see your true intention, or they haven't heard, or these men are on the channel for a reason, because there's something about the sting and the bite of what Cynthia says, what I say, what Nylah says, what Womanisphere says, what the different women on the internet are saying. There are men who like to feel comfortable on a lady's lap. But he knows when all is said and done, when it's time for him to rise up to the mantle of manhood, he knows that laying on a lady's lap where she expects nothing of him and sees the quote unquote king in him as he's laying down as a pauper, that doesn't get him where he needs to be. That there's something ingrained in male nature, that when he hears these true words and he has the chance to, with his logical mind, see the truth in what we're saying, that he does what it is that he needs to do as a man for himself.
I agree. When it comes to the black man, there is only one thing, only one way he will ever be able to ascend in his righteous standing as the king that he is, and he more than likely know he is. The only way is when my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray. Then will I hear from heaven, and I will heal their land. There is only one healing, there is only one strength, and there is only one way for any black man, any Israelite to come into himself, and that is through his relationship with the Most High.
Yeah, but you see, you're deflecting. And you know what, my heart, you know what, listen, my heart breaks for you because you're not getting it. You're not getting it. And you're going to continue to get
it. If it is what you're explaining, I will never get it that way.
Then
because
by all means, listen.
It's not true. It is not true.
You sound very aggy. You sound unprotected. You sound uncared for. You don't sound like you have.
But you know what?
Listen.
Don't let that sound.
You sound uncared for because you have to. Because you have to stand up here defending.
Now that's not true.
You see what I'm saying?
I have a man who takes care of me.
Apparently he doesn't. Apparently he doesn't.
I have a black man in my life.
Apparently he doesn't. Apparently he doesn't. You don't seem well cared for.
Then what would make you think that?
Because you're on the internet so rah-rah, because you're so argumentative, because you can't take a moment to rest in your femininity, because you're thinking about your argument before the person's even finished speaking, because you talk over people, because you call people names, because you're getting up in arms, because you have lost your delicateness. You've lost it, and you cannot convince us that you're well taken care of. And the way that you coddle men, I can only imagine the way your man is coddled, because you don't seem like you're rested. You seem agitated. You seem you
But you
seem
know what though?
uncared for.
But
Look,
that, but
you're talking
but in
over
all
me.
everything that you're describing me as, that's what I see you as. That's what I see this other woman as. It is as though you've taken everything about yourself and you've laid it out, and then you say, all right, if any woman disagree with me, I am going to place her in my shoes. If there is a woman who's being taken care of by a black man,
Honey.
if there is a woman who's
Listen,
being loved by a black man,
is there a
because
way
you
that
got to
you
prove
can,
your point.
ma'am,
You have to prove your
ma'am,
point.
you
And
see,
you don't want
you will
any black woman
listen,
who's really loved and cared for
you
to
see
say
how
it.
you see how you're getting agitated now, right? You're up in arms.
But
You're
you don't
talking to
want
a listen. You're
but you don't
talking to
want a
a
black
listen.
woman to
You're
say that
talking.
she's
You're
loved
talking
by a
to
black man.
you're talking to a woman right now. There's no need for you to
I know
have
that.
your masculine
And
energy
I'm not
so
upset. I'm
revved
not
up.
upset. Let's just talk.
Apparently you
Yes, let's
are.
just talk.
Apparently you are, and
Let's both
you're
go.
so willing. You're so willing to start calling other black women names. Just simmer down.
I didn't call you a name. Let's go into our femininity. You know, I mean, we can both be so feminine here.
You see how it's
It's
even
like you don't want
difficult.
a black
You see,
woman
it's
to
even
say that
difficult for
there's good
you. It's
black
difficult for
men.
you to take the bass out of your voice. It's so difficult for you.
There's
And
no bass
listen,
in my voice. I'm
you
in
see
my
how
femininity with you.
you see how you have to mock. You see how you
No,
have to
I'm not
mock.
mocking. I'm just talking feminine. I'm
So
resting in
okay,
my femininity.
this is you know what? Listen, you're being disrespectful by mocking me right now.
I'm not. I'm just in my femininity.
This is your version of femininity now, dear?
Well, you said rest. This is what you did. You did your voice like this, and you said
That's
rest
my
in your
natural
femininity.
voice.
So that's what I'm
Listen,
doing.
this is my natural voice. I don't have to pretend, and I don't have to put on a mocking voice. This is natural. This is natural. I don't have to listen. My voice naturally has bass in it. But it's just you and I talking right now. Cynthia's left the phone call because Cynthia and both Nylah have gone. So it's just me and you have taken this opportunity with just you and I in this conversation to now end this up with mocking. I'm telling you, it doesn't seem like you're well cared for.
There's no
because
mockery. This is
right.
femininity.
All right. You know what? Thank you so much for calling in. I'm not going to continue speaking to you. I would like to sum up the phone call, but I'm not going to continue while you're mocking me. And while you're mocking femininity. I'm not.
That's what you called mocking?
Well,
but you didn't think all of that other stuff was mocking that you were doing?
Now you've gotten back into your normal voice. And you come back with your rah-rah energy. All I can say to you, ma'am, is to really hold your husband to account so that you don't have to be on the internet trying to bulldoze your way through other women to try to get your point across. Please. Anyway, thank you so much for calling in. You have a really great rest of your day. You're live with Tanya. What's your name?
Tanisha.
Hi, your name is Tanisha. Please give us your comment today.
I've always listened to your channel for the last few years. I've been listening to your channel, and I just want to say to the ladies, listen to the things that Tanya has stated and said, because we are all unprotected. We really are. I'm from Polk County, Florida. And just the whole R. Kelly situation is very true. And that's, you know what I'm saying? As far as, that's all I want to really state, because I know that it's touchy, but at the same time, no black man in my personal life has protected me from that. And the world is bigger than us. And you should listen when somebody's being victimized or is a victim. You should listen to what they have to say and not try to silence them.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Tanisha. All right, phone lines are open again. There's someone in the comments who said that I was being unfair. No, I was actually more than fair on that call. I was more than fair. And let me tell you something. There are a lot of people out there with mental health issues. There are a lot of people with psychological disorders. There are a lot of people out there who are going through a lot of different things. There are people who are in abusive relationships claiming that they're not, right? You're on the air live with Tanya. Let me just finish up my point. Okay, I'm going to get to you in one moment. There are a lot of people who are going through a lot of different things out there. There are some people who were raised with narcissistic parents. There's some people out there who are narcissistic themselves, right? I am here, and there are things that I can see and hear as a life coach, right? That many of you won't be able to see and hear. But you need to pay attention because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm very good at what it is that I do. And if you don't see what it is that I'm saying, look within yourself and take the time to figure out why don't you see it. Take the time, dig within yourself because there's something that you are missing. Alexander, you can call in. The phone number is going across the screen. You're on the air live with Tanya. What is your name?
Oh, hello, my name is Jay. How are you?
I'm fine, Jay.
Yeah, I would like to say first, thank you for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a small disclaimer. I am suffering from a brain disorder, so my speech is a little delayed, so excuse me for that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say that I listen to your show a lot, and the other ladies that you share on a panel at times. And I am raising two young men, right? And I don't have time for them with dusty trash bags, right? And I had told them some things, you know, like one, do not go out there messing with the police because the police will mess with you. But if you go out there looking for trouble and you get locked up and they take you to slavery, do not expect me to sit in the courthouse and watch you get locked up and taken into slavery because my heart can't take that. I also told them that, you know, life isn't easy and it's not fair, but if you do the right thing, it will be good to you. And that if you find yourself out there in the world and you fall on your feet, you must come home because there's no other woman on this planet that's going to take care of you like me because I'm your mother. And if she takes care of you like me, one, she's stupid, and two, something wrong with you. But you want your mama as your lover. That don't make any sense. And I was like, and if you lose your job and you have a girlfriend, do not move in with her. But if you do, it's going to be nice for the first 3 or 4 months. You're going to be in a little honeymoon. And then your ego is going to start bothering you. And then you, in turn, is going to start tearing up her house and drinking. And do not call me at 2 o'clock in the morning because y'all fighting. Because one, I'm not going to answer the phone. And two, I'm going to tell her to lock your silly behind up.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yes.
And I let them know. I said, listen, you see your grandmother and you see your great-grandmother. I love them to death, but I am not them. I will not be taking care of a grown man. Do not give me any ideas because you see them taking care of them. I broke the chain on that. And I have a brother, and I love him dearly. And I had told my sister and them, there is a mistaking in this community that we women take care of our brother like our mothers, and our mothers want us to take care of our brothers like them, and that's not right. I already have sons. I am not going to take care of my brother like my mother because that is not my son. That is her son.
Exactly.
I already have two that's trying to make their way in this world, and we already have a problem with the young Black girls You turn them into little mamas. You make them watch all the children, the grandkids, the nieces and nephews, and you make her keep house, clean your house, and then when she turn around as a teenager and she go get her own man and her own baby, now there's a problem.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say this. Thank you so much. Listen, you were prophesizing on that one.
Prophesy, Papa.
I have
Thank you,
personally.
sweetheart.
Yeah, so you say that you're so sweet. You have 2 sons, you say, right?
Yes, ma'am.
From what it is that do you have a husband or no?
Ex-husband, honey.
Okay, from what it is that you know about male nature, have you seen your sons rise to the mantle of manhood more when you coddle them and baby them, or when you tell them that they are men and they're going to have to figure it out?
They're men and they're going to have to figure it out. Yeah, I let them know that in this life, as an adult human, when you become, one is already, he's in his early 20s and he's at that schoolhouse a few hours away. But sorry to make a longer story short, that in his life, we are responsible for a few things. And one of them is food, water, and shelter. Without food, water, and shelter, you will die. So you should always be procuring food, water, and shelter, and not vagina that has food, water, and shelter.
Absolutely.
Yes, and why would you put that in somebody else's hands? It doesn't matter its gender.
Exactly.
That person that you're with can be just awesome. Both you can have a beautiful relationship, and one of you can die. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Listen, I have several different. Listen, I know what when you say your son is at the. Did you say a schoolhouse or a fool house?
Schoolhouse.
Oh, schoolhouse. Okay. Yeah. So I know from raising up with a father and a mother who had a certain position about, look, what was going to happen if my brother decided to take himself in and out of prison and all of that. They said what was going to be the deal. Same like how you said. And I have girlfriends who have a similar mentality and girlfriends who have the opposite mentality. Oh, it doesn't matter how many times you get in trouble. Mama is always going to be there. Don't worry, etc., etc. If you want to find out, you could do a survey. Who do you think are the ones whose sons are doing what they need to do? And whose are the ones who are in and out of prison?
The ones who don't coddle these babies. I know they babies and you got to spoil them to an extent, but not teaching them self-awareness, self-regulation, self-regulating, how to regulate thyself, is a disservice to your, and we as mothers, doesn't matter if it's a man around or not, we have to do that. Even the lioness take her male and female cubs out and teach them how to hunt. Yeah. So,
well, I don't know if lions are the best example because the female lions are the ones that hunt and the male lions protect. So
yes, that is so
nonetheless,
true.
I thank you so much for calling in. You gave us some great perspective. You have a great day.
All right, you too, and you be safe out there. And all you listeners out there, be safe and share love.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, the phone lines are open. Alexander said he wanted to call in, but the lines are going back to back to back. So, Alexander, how are you going to get through? How will you get through? As a matter of fact, we have got to do... Oh, there's a call coming through. You're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name?
Laverne.
Hi, Laverne. So what is your comment this evening?
Oh, Tanya. Oh my God. I think I'm watching you on YouTube and I think I'm a little delayed because I think you're with the last caller on YouTube. But
you need
anyway,
to listen to me through the phone and turn off your TV in the background.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to cut it up. Or off. I'm sorry. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for taking my call. I was watching Super Nanny, what you call her? And I was mortified watching this. It was so cringeworthy that I just could not. I could not. Because she just was not getting it. She wasn't. It was like everything that you and Cynthia were saying. It was just like going all the way over her head. She was not getting it. I was mortified. It was so cringeworthy. I'm Mama Pumpkin in the comments, and I was like, this is the worst. Like, this is so cringy. And I just couldn't with her. I was so glad that you let her go because it was so much. But a couple things that I wanted to kind of touch on. First off, Tanya, like, I just want to thank you so much for your program. I really do. You and Cynthia, you both have taught me so much about the dynamics that I personally have repeated. I didn't have a father in my home, so I didn't know the role of what a man is supposed to do in a woman's life, and especially, being a Black woman and having a Black child. But I went through that Black male worshiping phase. I went through it. I did it with the coddling, especially with my daughter's father. He brought absolutely nothing to the table. Absolutely nothing, Tanya. But because I didn't know, I was used to being the breadwinner. My parent even used me to be the breadwinner. And I did not know. So, of course, when I get this man who is, literally was in the trash can of my past, and I dug it out the trash can with my Black male worshiping hands, and said, hey, I can dust you off, honey, and make you treasure. And when he got elevated, when he felt like he had elevated himself, he had gave me his behind to kiss.
Oh, really?
So
absolutely. Come up, woman.
Absolutely. And I did it. I did the coddling. I did the babying. I did the money sharing. I did all of this, the home sharing. I created a whole lifestyle. And when this lifestyle was created, he used that to finesse other people. So it happens, but I like watching you has helped me so much to not repeat the same patterns, to change my own mind frame of what I should expect from a man. And
well, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Question. What is it about what you've seen on my channel that made you feel that way?
How you call out what is missing from the dynamic between a Black male or a Black man in general towards a Black woman, as far as providing the protection, the finances, the even emotional protection, even providing that in a package is what you made me realize that I am worthy of expecting for a man to be a man.
Well, what was it in my video that made you feel that way? What was it specifically?
Just specifically, I can't really call it specifically. I can call it like when I hear it, when I'm watching your videos, and I'm like, whoa, that I never had thought about that before. I can't tell you specifically, but it's just how you pose your videos,
pulling the lessons
and the subject topics. Yes, the lessons, the self-love lessons. And you have definitely taught me what I am worthy. I am with my, you taught me also that how to kind of rest in my feminine energy, because I was never taught that. From a teenager up into an adult woman, up until now, I'm 35. So within the last couple of years of me watching you is like, wow, resting in my femininity is something that I have a problem with, because I never got a chance to do that. I've been working like a mule since I was 17 years old. Never got a chance to really do that. I'm working for my parent Then when I come out of my parents' home, I'm working for my man. And then after I leave that situation, now I'm working for my baby. When is there ever time to have the feminine energy? When is there ever the time to rest in it? But you have taught me like how to take that back.
Thank you so much.
And take the time and make the time to rest in my feminine. So I appreciate you so much. I appreciate Cynthia as well, Cynthia G. She comes with the knowledge. You both come with the knowledge. And I feel every time I watch you, I feel such a recharge. That's why, like, when I'm at work, I'm actually working from home now. So while I'm at work, I have you in my ear pods and I'm watching, because you recharge. You help me to recharge my feminine energy and help me to refocus. So I appreciate you, Tanya. And I just wanted to, like I said, comment on Super Mammy. She definitely wasn't. You said she was mocking you. She definitely was mocking, because the way she was saying femininity, like, ma'am, like, stop it. Like, she was mocking, and it was awful to watch. And I just hope that she rewatches this and maybe hears how dumb she sounds, and we'll get it together, because that was
going
all
too
the
far
way
now.
left.
You know I don't like talking about other callers, but so
I get it, but I think if I can make a suggestion, if you can do a reaction video to Super Mammy call, that would be great, because
I'm going to chop up that call and
like
I'm going to publish it tomorrow. I wanted to publish the calls from R. Kelly's video last night, and we published some of those wretched phone calls today. So we have some more content to republish with that one, because that was a doozy in and of itself. But listen, my dear, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Tanya. Love you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So Alexander said he wants to call in, but you got to get through, Alex. You got to, or Xander, however they call you. I don't know. I don't know how to get you to come through, but we want to hear from you, because you were one of the people that put up a 1, right? So maybe you can send a text. I don't check the text on this number. So for the rest of the people, please do not text. Do not text. I'm just opening the space for Alexander to text right now. That's about it. Wait, what's that I hear? All right. So we have a bunch of apples that have come in. So Uche sends $5 and says, Black man equals Jesus to this caller. Wow, profound, Tanya. Absolutely. You peeped that, right? You peeped that. Talking about the caller from the woman who was the Israelite. Cookie Confidant sends $5 and says, she's so gone. Monica is jealous, child. Yeah, listen, she was very gone. Uche sends another $2 and says, many Black women are socialized to look to Black women for Black men's failures. Yeah, you talk about Black men, you're going to talk about the growing population of Black women and homeless children. Like, a man didn't get her into that situation. Percy sends $5 and says, Mom smothered me, Dad empowered me. That's what I'm talking about. And, it's nice to have both, but you got to have the balance. You cannot have just the smothering. All right. Uche sends $2 and says, why do Black women defend Black men? Men can defend themselves. Absolutely. Like, we don't have to do that. Kimberly sends $1 and says, thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to look for this text from Xander and see what we have here. Let's take a look and see. Oh, my goodness.
Hello?
Yes, hi, you're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name?
It's Alexander.
Hi, Alex. So is it Alex or Xander? Which is the nickname?
You can call me Alex.
All right, Alex. So what is your comment this afternoon?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I've been listening to your show for months, and it's been very inspirational as a black male in this society. So, there's a lot to unpack that's been said today. So, really appreciate you and Cynthia and Nylah. So, I guess for starters, it's really hard for me as a black male to identify with anyone. So, I'm a divorced black male, but I take care of my kids from my ex-wife. I pay child support with no problem because we both, had to help create our children. It's just the marriage just didn't work out. We grew up in strictly religious household, and our church wasn't very supportive of us as a married couple. So that caused a lot of problems religiously. And so it's frustrating to me when I hear other people being religious instead of just thinking of the talking points that you guys bring up in a humanistic way. Because I agree with everything you guys said. And as a black man, it's hard to find another black man to align myself with to say, hey, don't take it personally what's being said. Look at the point. The things that are being said are factual because there's nothing else to dispute what's being said. And I can only speak for myself when I know that the things that I have come into life and I haven't learned, I tried to learn them on my own. I didn't grow up with my mom and my dad consisting in my life. I had abusive background sexually, physically, emotionally, and I didn't turn to drugs. I didn't turn to gangs, but I had to try to find a way to navigate through life, on my own. And it's been very, difficult, but I knew there had to be a better purpose for me in life. And I'm, trying to still find my way, through life. And I like to take constructive criticism. It may be hard, but in order to grow, you have to have those hard things, hard truths to help you identify, yourself. And I know it's not a popular thing to agree to, especially being a male in the society. There's a lot of things that, for me, I come into conflict with so many different males, especially my own diaspora, that I just like to keep to myself. I'm saying I'm, better than anyone else. I'm just trying to have a better life for myself and to show my son and my daughter that there's other opportunities to grow, especially my son. He needs to see in a good example as best as, he can to see what a decent man looks like and how to treat, himself, first of all, how to treat, women, because I respect his mother and I respect my daughter. But it's just like, I'm called a simp or lame or just stuff like the terminology that these males use are so immature and basic. And, we can't rise above it because our own mindset. When somebody's different, instead of approaching them and trying to inquire what makes them different, we attack them and berate them, or if you speak a certain way or you dress a certain way, you must be gay, or if you don't sleep around with other women, you're this, you're that.
Yeah.
And there's just so many things like, well, why can I just, be a person that I have a wife, I respect my wife, I treat her with respect, I'm happy with this one woman. Or I have my kids, granted the marriage didn't last, but it's my responsibility to help my ex-wife contribute to the household for my kids that she is taken care of. Now, granted, there is joint custody, and I see my kids, by court order every other weekend. But I didn't need that in order to do with my responsibility. But, when you speak that to other people, well, you need to take her back to court and all these other things. It's very frustrating. Like, okay, why can't, as adults, I accept my responsibility and I communicate that with others? I don't really care if they see my point or not, which is, I don't really, worry about what other people think. But if it just makes it more difficult to navigate, I guess through there's so many different things as a black male, and then you always get people who this black male worship, which I just find it crazy. And as a black male, I would probably get ridiculed or laughed at as I'm speaking against it, but I'm not speaking against something that shouldn't be in the first place. You shouldn't be worshipped. Nobody should be worshipped.
Yeah.
We're not gods in that sense, but we all can contribute to the betterment of our society. And as a black male, the black male like mindset altogether is, I can see why we're in the state that we're in. And then we try to, communicate that with one another as a brother. You get attacked, you get laughed at. Nobody wants to align themselves with
you. You identify as a heterosexual male.
So I'm bisexual now. But I grew up, in a heterosexual, lifestyle. I just, after my marriage, it just caused me to question and try things out because, I was never able to communicate that with somebody in a healthy way to help me understand. Because I went to the church for help about my emotions and my feelings, but they embarrassed me, humiliated me, said I was this, said I was that. So, yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
They were very condescending and nasty, to me about that. They called me sodomite. They called me these other things, and my thing is I married, a woman as a straight man, but I still had these emotions, things happened to me as a kid, I was sexually molested at 3 years old, and it happened off and on up until I was a teenager. So I didn't know how to navigate that, and as I tried to communicate that to, people in my church and stuff like that, they weren't willing to understand. A lot of them basically said, well, you wanted it to happen, that's why it happened, but how can I ask for something? Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So you said that the church didn't support your marriage. Why did the church not support your marriage?
Because they felt like I wasn't good enough for my spouse.
Why did the church feel that you weren't good enough?
Because they had a certain standard what a man should be, and from how I understand it spiritually, based off the Christian religion, they didn't think I was lining up with exactly what the Bible was saying that I should be.
Because of
and
what?
And they would use script just because of my upbringing, like I just expressed. I was
because your parents weren't there, and because you were physically abused, and the intimate abuse as well.
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
Oh, so you told the people in the church that, and they used that to ridicule your marriage?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, how interesting. How interesting. Okay. I'm sorry that you went through that. Hopefully you found a different place to worship.
I'm still looking, but before I decided to go somewhere else, I needed to, find myself first. And I can't, I was dependent upon other people to kind of show me, but I decided the best thing to do is figure out who I am and what I want out of life, despite whatever people are saying or whatever they think I need to do it on my own. So.
Got you. All right. And so you said that the biting reality motivates you more than the coddling. Why is that?
Because, so I'm in the Army as well, and I have soldiers, and I see that when you coddle someone, it doesn't help them, to be honest. We try to say, well, we're protecting their feelings, but the problem is they end up doing the same thing over and over. And I can speak from example when me and my wife were trying to go through our problems. She tried to coddle me, but when I was talking to one of my female friends, which just best friends, we haven't never done anything intimate or sexual like that, she would give me a different perspective, but she was very harsh about it, but she was still loving. But I respected her because I knew she cared enough about me to be honest. And we shared a lot of different things. She had a similar upbringing with me. She was sexually abused by some of her family members, by other women. And, she let me know that you could choose your path in life, but you can't allow, yourself to be manipulated and think that what you're doing is right, as far as your choices in life. You have to be a better man, a better person. And no disrespect to your wife, whatever, but I know you can do better, but that's something you got to do it on your own. You have to do it for yourself.
Gotcha,
you can't expect any man, nobody else to do it. And yeah, it hurt at first, but I knew she cared about me because she stuck around. When I would do things and improve, she would say, I see you working hard, keep working at it. Yeah. And then that's really what it was. So, and this was a black woman,
Gotcha.
And we didn't, just working together, just being friends, just being honest. And we just had a lot of respect for each other. So as time got on, I definitely can respect somebody, because for me, if you could be honest, then I may not like what you're saying, but I can put it into perspective. This is what I've learned to do on my own.
All right. Well, we appreciate your perspective, Alexander. Keep your head up. We appreciate having you as a knockout. So thank you so much. Thank you. Keep on keeping on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Can I make a comment real quick, though?
Who was the comment to?
Well, I see a lot of people saying I'm DL, or that's why my wife left. And that's a problem. Like if someone express how they're going through, or if they're dealing with something sexual, it's always an attack. And why can't it be? It's already bad enough having stuff happen to you, but you try to put that out there, right? and then people like constantly pick you apart or say this and say that. Like, hey, it's life. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying anything. I'm just expressing what's going on. And I appreciate your show because you're not judgmental. And when people do judge other people, you correct them. And everybody has their opinion. I got it. That's fine. But that's the problem with our community. Can't speak freely because, oh, well, this person DL and that's why his marriage didn't work and all this other stuff and gay this, gay that. But either way, regardless of what my orientation has been or was, it's irrelevant. I'm a human being. I'm a person who went through some things. I'm, calling or listening to your show or Cynthia's for guidance and, perspective and understanding and trying to figure out how to be a better person. So I'm talking, I'm seeing on the chat, it's like, come on,
right.
You guys wanted a man to call. I'm calling. I'm not disrespectful to anyone, and everybody had their opinion, but why can't I speak about my past in a good space without being attacked? I just don't understand that. But Ms. Ty, I do appreciate your time and your space.
Well, I'm sorry, I just have to ask, when you were married and you were having these feelings and emotions for other men, was that not down low?
No, I told her my wife before I married her, and I told the church all this because I didn't want anything to hide,
Gotcha,
And when I feel like when I've said those things, it backfired because I went to a therapist and I told him that, and he said I probably shouldn't have said anything. I should have shut my mouth because people say they want the truth, but once they get the truth, they most likely aren't ready to handle it.
Well,
and
you know what?
from
Listen,
I've
let me say this. I have a girlfriend who is pansexual, and she would not
Yes,
care
ma'am.
if you were bi, trans, whatever. She's pansexual. She doesn't concern herself with the genitals that's in a person. She looks for the heart. So that therapist
Correct.
that told you that you can't tell people the truth, tell people the truth. You just have to find the right person to hear your truth. So, like I
Yes,
said,
ma'am.
my girlfriend's
Yes, ma'am.
pan. She has no issues dating a bi man or a well, I guess she wouldn't be dating a gay man, but straight
Right.
curious, I don't know. She just
Yes,
she
ma'am.
just loves freely, so that's that. So
Right.
continue to
And yes, ma'am,
speak your
that's what I'm
truth.
learning to love freely as
And
well.
so I think that that's important. He didn't live on the down low. He spoke the truth to his wife, and they did what they needed to do in the marriage. And when it didn't work anymore, they shifted from the marriage. He takes care of his children and he pays his support. He has his visitation. He sees them, and he is truthful. What more can we ask from a man? I mean, every man doesn't have to be heterosexual. There are many different flavors. What is the variances out there? So he's a man, right? Is he not a man? You
Yes,
know what I
ma'am.
mean?
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care. Thank you.
All right. So let me just say that this video is sponsored by the TKO Total Knockout Pack, which is going to be, it's the vegan makeup pack, which is going to be available this Christmas. So all of the makeup that I have on right now, this sultry, silky look. Oh my goodness. And you all know that I don't really like wearing makeup because I find makeup heavy. And this makeup is so light, it's so silken. As you see, the subtle colors on the cheek, the gold, everything. And I tried out a different style with the brown and golds for the lip. And so I like this. So thank you for working with me. I am trying out different eyelashes because we have a lot of eyelashes to choose from what's going to be in the pack. So over the past few days, I've been wearing different lashes, as you see, trying different things. I have figured out some of the styles that don't work, and so that I know what do work. Like some of the lashes that, like the ones I had on last night. So I have a bunch of different lashes that I've been trying on and trying out throughout the videos, different lip colors, so that we can get the most robust pack, because now we are in September. We are in the final crunch right now. Actually, October is coming tomorrow. So we have a month before these packs go on sale. Unfortunately, you cannot pre-order. People have been asking whether or not they can pre-buy. you can't pre-buy because we don't know exactly all which is going to be in the pack, because before today, I wasn't even going to put the brown lipstick in the pack. So after doing this, I think that I do have to add brown to the pack, because a girlfriend of mine contacted me after I tried the brown lipstick on the other day, or the lip stain on the other day, and she told me that it looked really pretty on me, but I didn't like it. So I went and experimented some more today. I'm experimenting with the lashes and different eye looks, etc., different eyebrow treatments, etc., just so that we can make sure that we have everything. Because, listen, this has been a long time coming, because you all know that I first started with the experimenting with the vegan makeup in the spring. And so now I have completely transitioned away from my designer makeup that I was using before, and now I just am only using the vegan makeup. I love it. I used to feel really tired being on camera because the makeup would just weigh me down. I just felt encumbered. So if you're a person that doesn't like wearing makeup like I don't, you might enjoy the vegan makeup pack. It's vegan, it's not tested on animals, it's cruelty free, and it has some superior ingredients in it. I'm telling you, I can promise you, you've never felt makeup like this before. So I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you for the apples. Thank you for coming out and participating in the conversation. This was a really robust convo that I'm happy that we had the chance to have. I had no idea what it would turn into, and we have been on for quite some hours. So I'm going to jump out of here because I have got to eat. I haven't broken my fast yet for the day, but I was just, I was just so happy to be here. But listen, so people are saying they love the red lipstick. You can't wear red every day. You can't wear red every day. And so I think that this is a nice bronzy, golden bronzy color that goes really well. I like it. I like the red I had on last night. I like all of my colors. These are the lip stains right here. This is the gloss, and I love all of the colors. So inside of the box, I'm working on figuring out if we're going to have 2 reds, 3 reds, or what. Cause I love red lips. I want to make sure that we're versatile. I want to make sure that we have everything that we need in the pack for you to get the same exact look that I have. And I am looking good, aren't I? Yes, absolutely. So thank you all so much for coming out. Listen, go out there and love one another. Most importantly, what? Love yourself. Hey, let's read these last few apples that we got in. Hey, Corey sends 222 for support. Thank you so much, Corey. Thank you. We appreciate that. And then LaShawn sends 111 and says, "You're awesome. Thanks for all you do." Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Oh, Khadijah sends in $3 and says, "Can it be custom to accommodate can it be custom to accommodate dark skin tones?" That's actually a really good question. That's a really good question. So, this is here. Let me show you. This right here is the concealer palette, right? So I don't wear foundation. So I don't put on foundation on my face. Hold on, let me turn down the music a little bit. I don't put foundation on my face. I wear concealer, and I also contour. Well, I contour sometimes. Since I've started with the vegan makeup, I contour. Otherwise, it just was too heavy for me. But I've been contouring lately, right? This right here is the dark concealer pack. So when deciding what to put inside of the case, I am using the colors that I use, as well as colors that could be used for people who are darker. If you're lighter than I am, or much, much darker than I am, I don't know if it's going to work for you. I would love for somebody to try it out and see, right? because, you know, skin tones do vary, so you have to try it and see. But this concealer pack, you're able to build out your concealer, because if it was just like a regular color, right, you wouldn't be able to change it. But with this, I like to build out my concealer because it has the different colors that you can use for highlight as well as for covering up imperfections, darkness. So, you know, you can warm it up or you can cool it down. So it has the orange for warming. It has the brightness in case you want to really brighten it up over there. So yeah, so we also have, when it comes to the difference in blushes, right? So I use a golden mineral blush, and I also use a darker blush so that you can have the variety between that. And the lipsticks that I use go from light to dark. So if there's anything in the pack that doesn't work for you, you can always give it away or use the ones that do work for you. So I'm working on getting something that can be a variety of tones in the middle. If this is probably not going to work for Caucasians. I'm just going to say that out loud. It just probably will not work for Caucasians because your skin is just too light. Unless you have a brown skin Caucasian. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's not an inclusive pack because there are just too many people out there to cater to. So my Caucasian knockouts, my European knockouts, I'm sorry. So if you're a caramel to brown skin, it should work for you. Okay. So Rachel is saying, oh no, I'm dark. So you know what? I would really love for somebody who is dark complected to try it out. I would really love that because I believe that the darker burgundies and reds, etc., can work on darker complexion. This is what I feel because I'm in the middle myself. So I believe that the darker burgundies can work as well as the gold, etc. So I would really love for somebody darker complected to try it and see and let me know. All right. So on that note, I am going to pump back up the music and I want you all to tell me what are the self-love lessons that you learned from today's video. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is what? Part of loving yourself is what's the self-love lesson from today's video? I want to see your answers. Part of loving yourself is... Beverly says, let's dance. I'm so tired and food deprived. I mean, I could stand up and try to dance, but I know it's not going to come out all right. I want to see okay, let's try. We could try it anyway. Oh, hey, you know I'm always up for a good dance. Why not? Here we go. Hey. Let's see what the self-love lesson is. Let's see. The earth gonna keep spinning with or without BM. Put your peace first. Being open to being wrong. Listen to hear and not to respond. Oh yes. Finding value in self. Yes. Get off the phone, mammy. That person is behind in the broadcast. Value yourself. All right, let's see. Protect your womb from dust. Love yourself above all else. Yes. Yes. Hey. No, we still talking, haters. Embrace your femininity. Yes. She sees all of this non-taken care of and me and Cynthia and all this other stuff, but yet she's still watching the channels? That sounds like it's out of alignment. Hey. Uh-oh. What's that now? Okay. One more again. Never coddle BM. Don't advocate for anyone that wouldn't stand up for you. Don't waste your womb on Mr. Wrong. Rest in your feminine. Hey. She's a secret fan. She's something. Hey. Sin keeps a foot on their behind and they still get a. One more again. That bump. You don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that. Hey. What's the self-love lesson? Don't laugh at my moves. Give up your self-love lesson. Child support don't mean you a gold digger. Thank you. Negus is saying, damn, you single. Hey, brother. With a name like Negus, I can only imagine what it is that you out here believe in. So you can call up that woman that says she an Israelite. Maybe you could get coddled over there. Hey. Come on, give me these self-love lessons. Let's see them. Sit down, pon it. You don't know nothing about that. What do you want me to sit down, pon? Come on. Sit down, pon it. Sit down, pon it. Uh-oh, the apples are coming in. Let's see what that last apple is saying. Let's see. Come on. Hey. Khadijah says, I'm sorry, I'm driving and texting. It's not safe. Girl, what you doing more of it for? Don't do no more. Hey. What's the self-love lesson, y'all? All right. So I appreciate each of you for coming out. Remember, go out there and love one another. Most importantly, what? Love yourself. And part of loving yourself, there's too many self-love lessons here. Part of loving yourself is stop trying to make yourself small. Stop getting on your knees so that other people can seem tall. Either they're tall or they're not. Let a man be a man, ladies. Stop coddling them, because if they're going to rise up to the mantle of manhood, it's going to have to be something that motivates them to do that from within themselves. Not you trying to do it for them. You know what I'm saying? And listen, there are many places on the internet that blow smoke up men's behinds. But if you find them on this channel, there's a reason why they're here. Because they know what it is that they're finding on that other channel is not where they want to be. They want to be here with Sweet Tea, with my fake eyelashes and my vegan makeup and my perfect golden brown skin. All right, I'll see you all in the next video. Tanya TKO, and I'm out. Peace.